intro.
Hey. Uh, oh. Mog, share your screen.
Yeah, I hadn't started it up yet. I was just getting that set right now.
I'll move to this for now.
We're all behind.
Move to this for right now. Hello, everyone. Hi. Oh. There we go. Hi.
Hello.
Discord woes are a great way to start off the session. As it always is. I do wish there was a better way to manage the face cams. I mean, even though I'm the only face cam. But
As soon as I get my model for my VTuber, I'll have one up.
perfect. In the meantime, and forever and always, I am Slappy Meats. Hi, hello. This is my channel here. I mean, you're seeing it with Moonlight Kitsune as well. But if you're observing me, you can see it here. And I am also Syldove, the Dhampir rogue of the party. Here in Drums of the Empire, D&D. I am joined by my friends. One of them is over here. He's Lolo Man.
Hello everybody, it's Lolo. I'm playing one who leans a mushroom and a cleric and a druid and a diplomat, and I'm all the way in spider negotiations.
He's at least mushroom tip deep into diplomacy with this spider lady.
Diplomacy.
Son of a bitch.
All what does God know this?
The diplomacy. Yeah. Moving on, we have Salnica here as well.
Hello, I'm playing Philimy, and I'm the half-elf paladin who just chaotic as all hell, and yeah, sorry, kind of out of it today.
We have Moonlight Kitsune.
Greetings all. I'm playing Yozora, the Team Warlock, Stick in the Mud, and Scholar.
And Team Mom.
The most studious stick I ever did see. And of course, our precious Bonnie boy, Bonnie.
I am forever your Tabaxi Ranger Warrior, Ranger Drake Warden, Wither, who's always just a little bit too curious.
Nya. What a nyari boy. And speaking of which, we of course have a beneficent, wonderful, generous, effervescent DM, Iron Mug, ready to take us through this journey.
Hail, adventurers.
Speaking
Welcome back.
I also want to smell good.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got that diplomacy tonight.
Fuck yeah.
You know what? It's not even really diplomacy. Like, this is not a diplomat. This is a merchant. This is business. This is all just business now.
Yeah.
So you're saying that Lolo is gonna get in their business?
Yep, they sure are.
Diplomacy is just national business.
You know what? You're not wrong.
Businessy.
Businessy. There you go.
But yeah, hi, welcome back. If you remember, last time we dealt with a situation out in the wilderness of this chest that had been lost, who knows, some time ago, at least within, I believe, the last half century or so, as far as local time goes, at least. And had just been lost by whom really is unknown, why or how is also unknown, but had lost along the way and had just been there, forgotten by time. Every once in a while, it looked like somebody had come along and poked around at it and had found out exactly the consequences of doing such.
I believe we also figured out some Aarakocra provenance of the chest.
Indeed.
I think I've got the owner written down here somewhere. I've got to load up my notes.
There, in fact, were some details discovered about it afterwards, but the party encountered the trap that had been laying there ready to claim victims, as it had already a few times, once more. But with teamwork and just absolute aplomb, the group was able to come together, weather the traps, disable the devices, and get into the contents and find some pretty slick, nice loot that was just sitting in there, hanging out, waiting for you to come along and potentially die in exchange for getting some sweet, sweet loot.
Nothing says
Really was a great chest.
nothing says team building quite like coming together after coming together.
Wither kind of just decided to. Oh, he had to have his armor.
Especially when we come together over a great chest, you know?
But Tish.
Very true.
Well played.
Welcome anyone
this
who's
one,
new
this
to
one.
this party. This is what you can expect.
The party, after
There.
getting their loot, continued once more on their journey. A few glimpses here and there of this journey that they endured over about 10 days. It was just over a week. You figure all considered about 10 days. By the time you finally got to the actual start of these foothills and these mountains that would eventually become this area where you've heard these religious dragon worshippers happen to habitate. As you got right to the part of these mountains where the pass finally branches off further to the east, where you might go to the Arachni lands, or perhaps if you decided last minute you wanted to actually go to Managra, you might be able to turn back around and do that. But to head east instead of north, where your fellow diplomats and their retinue and their escort would be departing you. And as you got here, it seems that a series of recent storms had come through and had knocked debris and trees all over the place and had messed up the pass. And this group of Arachni seems to be that they had come through here, were clearing the path as they go, and had come from somewhere north, obviously, along the path, and were heading back home. As you encountered them, they seem friendly, amicable, definitely different from the patrol group, the military group you met from Managra that was very rigid, very traditional, and very structured. This one's more just kind of loosey-goosey, happenstance. You definitely got no sense that this was a military band or any sort of official group. That seems to be what you've discovered is a merchant along the way who is carrying some goods, moving things, either picking up or having tried to drop off and failing. I suppose you can ask all that and find out more when we get to it. With some protectors and escort and some porters to help carry everything. You went to help move stuff out of the road and clear things up. Well, a couple of you, probably the more diplomatic and business-minded of the group, one who leans and Saildov, had stepped aside with her to start talking business. And that's about where we ended. So we'll be picking up there. You guys will be able to, again, communicate with her, discuss anything you want to discuss. The rest of you, you're helping out. If you want to the others, you absolutely may. If you want to just chill, vibe, relax, help clear out the road, and then just kind of, like a drink and just sit and chill. Means feel. But once we get done with that, we'll be able to head off. You guys can again go anywhere you want from here. If you want to follow them, you decide you want to switch gears and follow them a different path, you absolutely may. If you want to continue to heading north, which I assume you will, but we'll see. You absolutely may do that as well. So unless you need anything needs addressed, let me know. Otherwise, we'll get right to it.
Yeah.
I'm set on my end.
I think we're good.
I'm ready.
You say these guards and mercenaries seem to be of a more relaxed demeanor.
Yeah, they don't seem like they're fully, like the last group was definitely one that was stringent military discipline. They were at attention. They snapped to. They followed orders. They definitely seemed at all times to be looking out for something, as if just aware and ready for any sort of, fight to break out, like soldiers. These seem to be much more relaxed. These two here at the south are kind of just sitting here watching, the rest of you work, relaxing. One of them was one of the ones that addressed all of you at first. just seems to be watching you. Like their arms are crossed. They're just casually hanging out. The mercenary types are, chopping down these trees to move them out of the way. And the porters
Okay.
are at this point just down and organizing and moving gear and whatnot around.
Yeah, these aren't military. Those are like hired escorts.
That's what I wanted to hear. That that the Monograns, when last we saw, did seem quite stiff.
Very.
Boo.
I just don't want to witness the moment they pull that stick out their asses and start beating people with it.
We are not in space. Take that reference somewhere else. As much fun as I would like to with a Mass Effect RPG, I have not found one.
You just gotta make one.
The state we left them in.
Yeah, they were feeling naughty.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not sure exactly what business the stick in their asses are going to have, but it's going to be thorough.
If anything, it might have motivated them to be even more dangerous.
Ooh.
I mean, given what they're
Ooh.
pointed them at, that might not be a bad thing.
Okay, my mind's going
Alright.
to a very dark place. Let's move on.
On that note, this one would have another matter to discuss with you. While we have established our intentions for future trade and possibilities, there is an exchange I believe could be made right this moment. You see, this one is interested in your connections within your species territory, trading connections, political connections, and access to those. If you could grant it to the representatives that are going to be staying within your territory, this one could provide with compensation.
As you're making this offer, it seems like she's half listening to you. She's currently directing the porters with, gestures of her hands and occasional twitches of some of her legs here and there. And they're setting things up. They put a few trunks near you, open them up, and inside there are some of the most beautiful silks you've seen. They're bright. Many of them are very brightly colored, but some of them are also of darker colors. Looks like grays and blacks,
Mm.
but they're all exquisite, finely crafted. They practically shine as light touches them. They're that thin of the strand. But as you finish, she starts a little bit and then looks at you with a very curious expression.
I am so interested to meet this kind of NPC.
There's a reason I'm over here is to keep you from doing something. Besides the fact my magic helps with securing knots and everything.
Oh no, Philomene is not gonna do anything, and that's a problem.
Oh boy.
I'm looking for charcoal color, burgundy, silks.
There absolutely are a few, yeah.
Yum.
But she looks at one who
Mm.
leans, tilts her head a little bit. How exactly do you mean?
Hallucinator, hi.
You want us to simply allow them passage, take them with us? I don't quite understand. Are
Thank
you
you for the
looking
subby.
to have us host a diplomatic retinue and speak on behalf of our people?
I would reckon that the names of individuals of importance would be very valuable.
In an
for us
ideal
to have.
scenario, we would require you to make introductions.
She blinks for a moment, looking back and forth between the two of you. shaking her head a little bit and dismissing with a wave for just a moment, she instead turns towards Dove and gestures at the trunk. Were there any that interest you?
Actually, yes. This bolt of burgundy here. It speaks to me.
Yes.
I've been sporting cooler colors for a minute now. I could use a little change.
And it does make quite the statement. Product of my sister, by the way. She's one of the best silk spinners in the business.
Ah, really? So this business is in the blood.
It is a family business, yes.
You are the more number-minded. She is the more craft. The craftier sort.
I am enterprising, perhaps, in my attempts to open markets elsewhere, yes. Whether or not I have more than mind for numbers is, I suppose, anyone's real guess.
Hmm.
I have experience, I have influence, and I have money. I try to put them to some use to aid the family. But that is quite a fetching bit of fabric there.
Indeed.
Would you like it?
Well, nothing smooths talks. Quite like a little bit of fair exchange, right? How much for the
Just
bolt?
so. How much would you like? We shall cut it for you, and it will be our gift.
I know I'm not over there, but alarm bells are ringing in my head.
How much would the bolt be?
The entire bolt at the moment, I'm afraid, would be priceless. It is all I have left. But if you are looking for several lengths of it to make an outfit or perhaps a set of scarves for your group, I don't know.
I would be
Whatever it is
really
you wish.
interested in an insight check on that.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Like her
Same.
sister can't make any more? Priceless is an exaggeration in that instance.
Priceless is a hook.
Yeah. Is she milking us, or is this really like, this is very valuable? We can't get rid of this.
Both of you see through her not so great attempt at subterfuge.
Hmm.
As one who leans, well, I guess the player pointed out, of course, her sister can simply spin up some more, right? This may be all she has on hand, but it is not as if that means that it should be such a precious and temporary commodity. She
Yeah.
clearly just doesn't want to separate with the entire bundle
Yeah,
for
it's
coin.
Yeah, it's much easier to turn a higher profit selling it piecemeal. Understood. I would not want to have you bereft of such a clearly sentimental commodity. I would say enough for a long tunic, perhaps. A blouse.
She smiles at you very politely, very appreciatively, bows her head, nods to one of the porters, and they will come over and they will cut off. And you can add this to your sheet as just basic like quantity, like how many units of. But you will have 5 units of arachne silk, and then burgundy is obviously the color.
Sweet, thank you.
Perhaps, in exchange, in the spirit of establishing good relations, we could provide you with samples of our tinctures.
Sweet.
These were the dyes and the paints and such that you were mentioning earlier, correct?
Indeed.
Loot.
If you'd be so willing,
And
anything you have in a soft blue or even a bright yellow would be most appreciated.
Of course. I'm gonna gesture towards the convoy.
Yeah, the delegates, yeah.
Yeah.
They will absolutely fetch that and bring that over. Now then, if I am understanding you correctly, what you want me to do, and correct me if I'm wrong on assuming this, is you would like the additional escort from here to Arachnite territory. And additionally, once there, you would like me to use my influence and power to arrange a diplomatic meeting between your envoys and my people?
I look to one who leans. Well, we do have pressing matters towards the north at the moment, don't we? So
Indeed.
I would assume, I wouldn't dare assume, I would suggest that making introductions beforehand with individuals of note to whom we would wish to speak once we arrive. And of course giving us the names of these individuals so that we may seek them out once we reach your territories.
Ah, you are looking for individuals as well then to contact later.
Can I get a point of
Essentially, those
clarification?
I would...
Actually, real quick, sorry.
What's up?
Can I get a point of clarification real quick?
Absolutely, what's up?
Our current diplomatic party that's with us, our little interns, our little entourage.
Your interns, yeah.
It's
not sure.
the Arachne territory that they are stopping in right now. They're not
Correct.
heading
They were
further.
headed for the Arachnite territory, absolutely.
Oh, then
To
fuck
open
it.
up diplomatic talks.
Then yes, rescind all that shit. Then yes, an escort for them. Yeah, I will say that. I will agree
Absolutely.
to that.
The idea, if this one might put it so bluntly, is to give access to these representatives to your contacts, trade contacts, political contacts, in the interest of establishing strong trading networks between our people. And it would go without saying that anyone involved in the establishment of such networks would see profits rise and not know what to do with all of their currency.
You do speak a lovely language, don't you? Now, let's talk a little bit more about that then. Would the opening of diplomatic and trade talks be compensation for the escort and the contacting of whomever I might contact? Or do you offer something else in compensation for that?
This one had a thought of making it a monetary exchange in the interest of demonstrating our willingness to fund this project.
I do certainly like that. A monetary gift may go a long way towards, one, finding your companions, she gestures towards the convoy, finding them a place to stay, finding them food and servants and the like, things they will need for where they are, and of course, helping them to establish any of these talks or trade negotiations that you might be interested in.
What would
Let me ask you this. Go ahead. What were you saying?
What would typically be the going rate for such an escort of a party of this size?
She kind of sits back on her, big spider butt for a minute as she regards all of you, regards the convoy, regards the group she has with her for a moment, does some math in her head.
Don't give away first offer.
That's why I didn't say a number first. I want her to start.
If you simply want us to guide them, it would be cheaper. But if you also want us to if you've made any enemies in the area and they are to come under attack, you want us to also defend them. Or if monsters come across us and you want us to expend resources and effort to protect them, it would be a little bit higher. So either one of those packages would be available. The simple guide and escort, she again considers for, would be 250 gold. Protection would raise it to 400.
Understood. I do hope it is impressed upon you that their mission for diplomacy will be of great monetary value to you in the coming weeks and months.
I do
So it
certainly hope
is
so.
in your best interest to ensure that they get there safely, and no effort is spared by your clearly very capable soldiers.
She grins wide, her eyes sparkling for a moment, as she, of course, digs into the subtleties between the words and nods slowly at you. It would be my hope that such things would be true. She looks over at the convoy again, then back towards you. They do seem like a lucrative lot, no matter what it is they might be about, or what they might bring.
This one then wishes to make the following offer. In
Her
the
head
int-
whips around.
Just in
In the-
case. Sorry.
Mhm.
Can I insight check that? Because where I'm
for it.
from, that could come across as a veiled threat.
You absolutely may insight check that.
In Dove's neck of the woods,
I'm gonna insight, but more to see if I can tell how much she's pushing up the price.
Hmm.
Hey, can't.
The defeat there, it's so great. Sorry, that killed me.
Meanwhile, by then I assume Philemy has
Shit.
finished cleaning up the road, so
I
she'll
can't-
be sitting somewhere on the side.
I can't save scum anymore.
You are unfortunately pretty sure that seems like a fair price. She wouldn't cheat
Okay.
you. Dove, there is definitely something in her words that she's not saying outright. You don't get the ominous sense of a threat, but it isn't a promise of necessarily good things either.
yeah.
Then,
I'll be sure to have a word with them.
well, this convoy has no established enemies. The protection would, however, still be appreciated, but they are already escorted. For your guidance and your contacts, this one would make the following offer. In the interest of seeing you paid immediately, it would split it with 150 gold cash and the following promissory note for 350 credits with the Senate.
Her eyes light up at the idea of getting that 150 cash right here up front. But then the promissory notes makes her narrow her eyes a little bit. What guarantees do I have on this promissory note? Is it backed by a gold standard?
It is indeed, and it is good for currency as well as goods.
And of course, the establishment of some kind of embassy in the Arachne territories would make for the redemption of that promissory note very convenient.
Indeed.
Have they been approved and sent their official exchange rates to Bagres.
Does that ring a bell?
That is the major trade city in the Free Territories, the one on the Coin Road.
Mm.
Isn't that the one where we sent the goblin to?
Mm-hmm.
We have
Okay.
we have our extremely skilled and capable diplomats sent there.
Bullshit.
Not,
As of
not
oh,
only
Meg?
that.
Oh yeah, no, he's good.
Depends on who you talk to on that one. But
Not only that, but those are administrated directly by the Senate Treasury. As such, they are redeemable immediately, should you visit. Of course, the establishment of an embassy would make the process more convenient for you, in terms of distance traveled.
If you're trying to deceive her, go ahead, roll your deception checks. She's doing an insight check to see how legit this is.
Don't think I'm
Shit,
trying
it's-
to deceive her.
As far as
I
I,
mean, yeah,
know,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is we're set because
yeah.
Mech's building that bridge in the coin. Mech's down there fondling the coin purse.
You're not wrong. But yeah, that was just in case. In case.
So
So,
I'll-
yeah, basically
I'll-
we're telling her we're talking
Great.
to the coin lords, but also it doesn't matter because there's an actual government behind those notes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, that was just her insight to see how on the level you were.
Mm-hmm.
So she stares again back and forth between the two of you before she finally nods very subtly.
Lol.
Your modifier's
Yes.
incredible.
I do believe that will suffice. That is a handsome sum. And it is good to know they do not have any known enemies. That makes our job that much easier. But, you know, these lands are dangerous. Bandits are about everywhere.
Yes, have you been given any trouble by some of the roustabouts down here in the Free Territories? I've heard the Crimson Bandits can be quite troublesome.
We've heard something about some crimson, red somethings or others. We've not run into any of them, so I don't know much about them. The zealots up north, however, I do know a little bit about them. Anything
Okay.
else we haven't really come across? There are, of course, things within Akina that are not exactly found elsewhere and are a little bit more hostile to, well, she just gestures around.
Anything. How did you find these zealots? Good business?
Terrible business.
Yeah, I look at their carts. Does it look like... It looks like stuff that they packed to sell and didn't move.
Yep. And there does not appear to be anything newish.
So they weren't
I'm
buying
gonna-
shit.
As soon as she accepted the offer, immediately I produced two
Spores.
pieces of parchment. No, not spores. 2 pieces of parchment, 150 gold front pocket, and 350 worth of Senate credits. Put that next to the parchment, flat on, I guess, whatever surface we have available to write on.
Mhm.
And I'm writing a contract in duplicates for the escort and guidance of our convoy, as well as the introduction to trade and political contacts.
I'll lend you my back, unless we can use their cart.
They can. The porters will bring over a trunk that you can use as like a table surface.
There you go.
Much more comfortable.
Right. As soon as she accepts, one who leans immediately gets on that,
I've got a bony back.
above table,
and I write it in front of her so she can check the wording.
above table, Slappy, were you hoping that one who leans was going to poke into the parchment a little too hard?
Fresh.
Bruh.
Poke into some of those fresh kitty wounds.
She will absolutely watch you as you write out this contract or this agreement or wherever. If there are any other fabrics or silks or anything that you see that you'd like here, please let me know. We do also have a few spices, a few bits of jewelry.
Bellamy.
Okay, Felmy will look up from where she
Hello.
was sitting. Yes. Yes.
Are you busy?
No, I'm pretty much done clearing the road now.
Oh, great. There's some things here that might interest you.
Are we actually done clearing the road?
Good question. I assume we're.
It isn't like fully cleared, but you have done a lot of work. You've moved a lot of these trees out of the way. You've got some of these larger blocks of stone out of the way. Like this tree here is probably gone. This one and this one and this one.
Just asking because we haven't made any checks on this, so.
No checks needed. You're not under any duress. You've got all the assistance from everybody there. So yeah, no checks needed. It's something you could do just casually.
Okay, there we go.
Roger that.
I took out 150 gold out of pocket, and I took out the 350 from the 2,000 credits we had. So we have 1650 left.
Wasn't it 2,000 per person even?
It sounds like a lot.
It does,
Felmy will-
and I did write that down. I did write down 2,000 in my inventory. Was it
so
2,000
Felmy will
each?
head over to-
I'm looking right now.
If
Yeah,
it's
I put
per
it in
person,
mine.
that's good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I put the same thing in my inventory too.
Felmy will head over to Zelda. So, was there something you needed me to see?
And I've got 2,000 in my. I'm not sure if that's for a party, but I just wrote it down as like gold credit. Checking
Yeah,
haversack.
I put a little, my my Yomei Express Platinum card.
Mhm.
I just have it as GP line of credits of 2,000 is what it says.
Mog,
Mm-hmm.
was it per person?
It was.
Yay!
Okay, good.
Fabulous.
Okay, so I
Okay.
I took everything out of mine.
Okay then.
Felemy, you have a knack for flavors, yes?
Well, certainly not the more elaborate meals, but I suppose so.
Well, our new associate, Shinzara Silkweb here, has a cavalcade of spices available for sale. Can you tell us about them,
Oh boy.
Miss
You are, Mog.
Silkweb?
They will bring out a smaller trunk, set it on top of one of the other ones, open it up, and there are a vast assortment of spices in there.
Is there anything in there that would be akin to our specialty?
Oh, stars above.
Oh, God,
we'll
no.
find out. Okay, so Philomene, you may roll your choice: survival, nature, or medicine, to try and figure out what some are as you poke through them.
I'm gonna go with medicine because medicine often shares a lot with spices and stuff.
Yep. That's if you even care. I mean, if you don't care, you just do whatever.
I think I do.
Well,
All right.
All left?
Ooh, number 4.
As long as it's not all wrong.
And then the Fire Nation attacked.
Would that be the worst?
I think
Finally,
it's going to be interesting.
I kind of expect that. Like, negotiations are going smoothly everywhere else, and then just the whole campaign turns upside down.
Coronation attacking while I'm looking at spices means that a huge portion of these would basically be ghost peppers.
Oh. Oh, you know Dove likes it spicy. Endorphins are
The-
delicious.
The first jar you pick up and take a look at, this appears to be crushed basil leaves, though it does not appear to be the standard basil that you might be used to. This is a local type
Hmm.
of herb or seasoning
I like basil.
because it's crushed up, so it's not exactly just the herb. It seems to have a little bit more to it as well added in.
Does if I sniff a little bit for the smell, does it reveal anything?
It smells pretty good. It's got that nice kind of basil smell to it, though it's a little more earthy.
Not quite as sweet.
Yeah.
Ooh, earthy can be good. All right, and moving on. What else? By the way, just so we're clear, I'm sharing all of this with Zelda and anyone else who on our group that's around.
Hey.
Wither kind of just peers up and is watching interestingly as he continues to whittle.
If you find mushrooms, I'll get jealous.
That jar, which is right next to the one that you picked up, seems to be a more standard set of herbs. However, there's a combination. You are getting hints of ginger, some cinnamon, and even a little bit of nutmeg in it.
For your confectionaries.
That sounds like it could make some good pancakes. Filmy is definitely gonna make note of that.
We maxed out.
We found the legendary herbs.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, while Philomene is observing this collection, I would like to, using Thieves' Cant, between the lines. This is a fascinating set of spices you have here. I do wonder if you have anything more exotic. And in Thieves' Cant, essentially, got any drugs?
Subtle. Very subtle.
That's what Thieves' Cant is. Thieves' Cant is the reading between the lines. Yeah, communicating the idea of, hey, you holding?
Yeah. Yeah.
By wrapping it in inquiries about spices.
Okay, so the next one that you pick up, Philomene, you go to the other side of this crate, pick up a different one, shake it around. This one doesn't smell anywhere near as pleasant as the first two. This one's got more of a soapy smell to it almost. And not like, nice scented soap, just that flat soap.
Oh boy.
Ah, shit, it's cilantro.
Looks at Dove and curls a slender brow, gestures towards the crate. Well, for instance, that one that your companion has just picked up is Eternal Slumber. It is derived from the maltings of, and she gestures at herself and the others around her, of our people, and is combined with a local root. You add it to something whatever you want the other individual to ingest, or just enough of it as a powder directly in their face. And it can induce sleep. In large amounts, it can kill.
Oh, how dreadful. How much?
I'm
Would you
sorry,
like the entire jar?
Top Gear? Oh no. Now moving on.
Usually,
Should you be parting with it?
given that I've rolled medicine, do I see any actual medicinal use for this? Like maybe as an aesthetic or?
For the last one you picked up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there could be some medicinal application to it. You know, if somebody's having trouble sleeping, you could mix some of this in with some tea or something, and it should induce sleep. If you need to medically induce a coma, this is probably one way to do it. Similar, just find a way to ingest it in some way in a much larger dose than the, take a nap dose. And it could put them in a very deep and lengthy sleep. And again, enough of it, if you ingest it all at once, will likely be fatal.
Well, yes, almost anything medicinal is like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's just,
But I'm
duh.
mostly wondering if there was anything anesthetic like local anesthetic or general anesthetic with where if someone needs to stop feeling pain or
If it's
something.
numbing. I mean,
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
absolutely.
depending how restful the sleep is.
Yeah, you're looking for, ancient aspirin.
When she asks if Dove wants to purchase the whole jar, one who leans is gonna glance at Dove and slowly nod.
If you are willing to part with it, if it's not too priceless.
Shakes her head at that. Not exactly difficult to come across moltings and this root. So, no, it is not priceless, like some other things.
Of course. How much would you be willing to part with it for?
Should you be interested in the entire jar, I would let you have it for 75 gold.
Did we just rearrange? No, I think this is good. We're good.
You take MasterCard.
Right? Let me check my money. Oh, well, I have to check with my manager. Here. I would like to insight. Does that seem like a fair price? Or is she pulling one?
Go ahead and roll your insight, yeah.
Ooh.
I keep losing a newbie.
Hang in there,
Look at my-
sweet kitty.
Having issues?
That is definitely a little bit marked up. It's not as large a markup as you might expect for something like this, but it seems she likes you and feels like being generous.
Ah, fantastic. Here then. In the interest of good commerce, we do have additional business up north. How did you find the zealots? Your load here seems to be rather pregnant still. They're not in the mood for business, not commerce-minded, are they?
She will pick up the jar, hand it to you for you to examine should you want.
I'll give her the 75 gold.
Okay. Did not seem to be quite amenable to trade, at least at the moment. They had no need of the fancy silks. They weren't looking to spice up their food. It seems that porridge and simple meat was enough for them.
Oh, my goodness.
They do not seem to be interested in adorning themselves with jewelry or other fancy effects.
I have heard that they are not interested in spicing up their romantic lives either, if there is any to speak of.
Just so. So I believe that has something to do with their de facto leader.
It is decreed to be dull dishwater. Good little followers.
Well, upon
Uh.
our return, should we be successful, this one would be willing to part with any market research that we were able to make.
I'll do our best.
I suppose that would be appreciative. If you're able to crack any of those stone-like beliefs they have, set as they are, feel free. If you open up trade with them at all, they weren't even willing to exchange labor. You know, having someone to do the mining or the logging and being paid for it. They were very stiff and unwavering.
Usually
Not to
such a
mention
good
brusque.
quality. Well, I do hope to be able to penetrate that shell somehow.
This one believes that in the future you might be able to wrap your silk around those hardened beliefs.
Speaking of these spices, this eternal slumber here is very useful. Would you happen to have anything that is more, well, shall we say, spicier? Something that excites the blood, as it were.
Given that I also happen to be looking to the spices myself, and I rolled on medicine, do I see anything that at a glance I recognize as such?
All right. Yes and yes. First of all,
Ooh.
Sorry about all the disconnects there for it.
Huh.
yeah, you all right, homie?
I think somebody just got home was all, and it kind of messes with my Wi-Fi.
All right. So
Yeah.
there's the item for you if you would like some of it, or you'd like to add it to your sheet. You have a jar of that. That is enough of the eternal slumber for 26 uses of the sleep. $14 uses of the coma, and 3 uses of the death.
Ooh. Okay. Can I do it like that?
Considering
Sure.
our new doggy French propensity to accept weird teas,
Uh-huh.
this could come in handy.
I do
people
also.
of this world-
Well, you don't know. I haven't had a chance to mention this yet.
Yeah, the people of this world seem to be very, at least that we've met, unusually trusting. That was above the table for the record, so
Mhm.
I'm not.
Yeah, everybody just turns towards you, Zora.
I'm not that dumb. I'm above the table. Zora's just quietly watching and so on and so forth, waiting for something to do.
All right, so Philony, you were looking for basically, like I said, a ancient aspirin, some sort of pain relief, something that you could use to medicinally assist someone else with pain, and what else?
No, I'm not exactly looking for anything like that. Anything that has medicinal use of some sort. Like you mentioned the eternal slumber thing, and that was like, yeah, okay, maybe that could be an anesthetic in some medical use or something. But mostly, what I'm looking for is either anything interesting to cook with, or anything interesting to ingest. More or less like Slappy, anything that makes things pleasant.
And of course, I am specifically asking if I must slide it into thieves' cant in our conversation. I will ask for. You got any Mexican Viagra?
So let's see.
What?
Stuff with medicinal purposes. And you had a pretty good check, so you'd be able to spot it just at a glance. That would be. Which one of these? There
Since
does
you were-
seem to be a root based powder that looks like it would be good for like infections. Like if you got a cut or something, looks like you could pour that to the wound and it would help kill off infections.
See. Fuck.
Definitely gonna mark that one for myself. Because I'm probably gonna want a little bit of it. Is this something that my Leovan can
that.
cover for now?
It would work similar to your lay on hands, this powder, where you could use lay on hands to remove disease and such.
Right, exactly. So that would be something for me to keep on hand if I cannot make use of Leon and I'd have to go non-medical methods or like to give to someone in case when I cannot be there.
It wouldn't restore any HP, but yeah, absolutely. For the other effects and things that lay on hands do, you could do similar with a mundane product. I guess mundane, it's.
So definitely earmark for at least a little quantity of that for myself. But for now I'm gonna keep rooting through for to check whatever else I can.
Yeah, actually, how much of that would you like?
I'd say 5 uses.
Okay.
If there's that much of it.
So as you're looking at this root powder, turning it over in your hands, getting a good feel for it and examining it, like, oh, this would, do this or that. She notices and she reaches over with one long limb, taps it gently. That is a local powder that we make. It's called tunnel root powder. The rat folk were the original ones to discover it and found that it was able to keep them more robust and healthy if they were one of those that were covered by it digging the tunnels versus those who avoided it. After all, it was initially a little itchy when it got into their fur, but we have, of course, since been able to refine it and turn it into this much more usable powder. It doesn't itch so much. It does, however, burn a bit. So if you were to, say, apply it to an open wound, find something to bite down on.
Well, when you deal with open wounds and the likes, you rarely are going very gentle. You're more worrying about getting the job done. That said, I don't suppose I might bother you for a few doses of it. Say enough for 5 people.
She nods, gives you a very pleasant smile. Of course, absolutely.
Just to be sure, how much would this come to?
You said enough for 5.
Yes, I have other means to take care of whatever this takes care of, but, well, when you deal with medicine, you can never have too many contingencies.
She considers for a moment, gives you a once over with her eyes. 55 gold.
How much would it be for the entire quantity?
Oh, if you wanted in the entire jar, that would be. She looks at the jar, looks how much is in there, looks back at all of you. 600 gold?
Understood.
You do realize we don't need that much, so I'd do have my own means to take care of any disease or infections we run across. This is more just an insurance for myself. I do like to ensure that everyone is well and healthy.
Good to see the price tag.
All right. Yeah, I'm not even gonna roll insight on that one, since Felony will actually be trusting on the prices.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hand over 55 gold.
All right. Yep. 55 gold. You will get 5 uses of that, so you can add that to your sheet, and you can change the quantity to like 5, and then each time you use it, just go away.
Exactly. Give me a minute to adjust my gold, which I'm now realizing
Yeah,
I
yeah.
might get a bit behind on.
And then, so while you're doing that, she will turn towards Dove. And you are looking for things a bit more exotic, a bit more spicy than simple spice, I assume.
Indeed.
I do not have much in the way of the... She considers for a moment, then simply shrugs a shoulder. The illicit substances, even those that are controlled in some manner. I unfortunately didn't bring much with me. I didn't see much use in taking it to a camp full of religious fanatics, especially ones known to be regular sticks in the mud.
Ugh.
They
Yeah.
do,
Feel
of course,
called out.
exist, and I could
Yes.
possibly get you access to them. But with me, I do have some things you might be interested in. What are you looking for specifically?
Mhm. As I alluded, I would somehow slyly, with my thieves' cant, I guess cadence, drive it towards this fucking gas station pills for the horn and goat weed and shit. Aphrodisiacs. Specifically aphrodisiacs. Things to get the libido jumping. Something, well, ideally something that would crack even the most stalwart shell and remind them that they are still people.
Ooh, I unfortunately don't have any with me, but I do wish I had some of this. You may not have heard of. Maybe you've already had some, but it sounds like exactly what you're looking for.
Having trouble keeping it hard? Do you need some
I'm having
help?
trouble finding everything on the
Yeah.
entire list of everything here.
And like, I assume you're looking up the name because there's if
Yeah.
you got all these spices at your disposal, like all the most mundane stuff in the world, you just got the longest list ever.
Yeah.
It's called Cialicium.
From far to the east of here, the land of Hengatha, there's Gothic Devilweed.
Okay, Felony is not gonna react to that, but I certainly do.
If I recall, Hengatha is where the tieflings live. The tieflings and the vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's spelled with an A. Okay, fine. Close enough.
Because it's Hengatha.
Yes. I'm like, goth devilweed? Oh, goodness. Gothic devilweed. Very interesting. I do hope that our travels take us that far east before too long.
If you do find some, absolutely procure yourself some. It is a magnificent time, I assure you. And even the most stalwart, stoic individual, get a little bit of that in them, and they'll have more than a bit of pep in their step.
Have you heard of it taken in various forms, perhaps? Powdered, ingested, brewed, steeped like a tea, injected?
It can, in fact, be used many different ways. As you has suggested you could brew it in a tea, steep it. You could add it as an ingredient in something you cook, perhaps as an extra spice. It doesn't exactly have the best taste, but it is a unique one and one that you might appreciate at least. You can also dry it and smoke it. You can also boil it down or strain it to its most bare essence and get like an oil from it that you can then do other things with. You can add the oil again to drinks or food, or find other ways to burn it and inhale the burnt, smoke.
Does it retain its properties when mixed with alcohol? I am a bit of a more than a hobbyist, but a brewmaster.
Don't know if she'd know that. 1 second. She
Ooh.
apparently knows that.
Lovely.
I may not recommend combining it with alcohol, but it can be done so. Enough of it, say, if you were to take a good clear alcohol, like that the dwarves are known to make, you may add plenty of the devilweed to it, and it will eventually, in some fashion or another, dissolve. However, the lingering effects and the chemicals and the oils within it have been absorbed by the alcohol. And it is quite potent, but does not taste great, and is known to occasionally cause blindness.
Ah.
On that
I'll
note,
be wary of
Zelda,
that. Yes.
this one appreciate not being exposed to more product that would stimulate his effluxions.
One final check for the spices, by the way.
I'll
Already take,
be
already take
mindful.
any cocoa powder in there. Just a mild indulgence.
What are you looking for? Did you say giggle powder?
Cocoa.
Cocoa.
No, cocoa powder.
Oh, that was like giggle powder. What?
It's prohibitionary. You gotta call it. You gotta call it giggle powder.
Tasha's use powder.
A cocoa powder. See, I like where you're headed. You're looking for the stuff that's going to make the money.
Wait, cocoa powder?
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
With an A, right?
Yeah.
Well, with 2 O's and an A.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was
There's some
just
C's in there.
1 O and an A.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have said chocolate powder, but chocolate is the refined form, whereas cocoa is the raw form.
But yes, you're looking for any sort of cocoa beans, cocoa powder, something of that sort. Something that looks like it might be, with some sugar and some baking, turned into something delicious.
Exactly.
Is that even on the list of her stuff? Let's see.
You gotta ferment cocoa beans before you can make chocolate.
That's true.
You realize we have a master brewer.
You're
who's
in
good
luck.
at fermenting things?
I always have my kid with me.
Okay, so she doesn't have cocoa powder or a local equivalent. She does, however, have a local equivalent to vanilla.
Ooh.
Dove,
The minute I find, I light up.
Dove flinches at the word.
And the jar that has the vanilla in it, it
I
seems to be
see.
more of a liquid, as you might expect.
Really? I
Has-
thought that's beans.
But yeah, it's not the actual beans.
Ah, okay.
It's an extract. But it has fey runes on it.
Faerun's. Okay, I'm gonna light up right away at the sight of that.
Sword Coast? Is this a... But oh my goodness, Fey
This is precious.
food. Ooh.
How much would this be?
Looking for something a little sweet, perhaps.
I do have a little bit of the faith that's in me. So obviously this is attractive.
Do you? She seems to light up, and the light claps her hands once and smiles at you appreciatively. A little bit of fey touch within you. Then yes, you would absolutely adore this. It's actually from the south. Well, the southeast specifically.
This one makes all its sugars through coprosynthesis.
That is incredible. She just smiles at one who leans politely. Turns back towards Philomene. But yes, that is actually from the south, from Listeria. The rabbit folk are known to harvest it. They have fields of it. It is supposedly, though I don't know the truth to any of the legends, it is supposedly blessed by fairies who flit about in the night. I don't know. Again, I don't know fully the grasp of the legends. I'm not from there, and I've never been.
Probably be something for me to see if I can investigate the runes.
Yeah, at the side of the runes, Philomene will have subtly or not so subtly signaled to Yozora to come and check this out.
Okay, time to walk over and take a look at what she's to ask me to look at.
Philomene seems to be holding a jar of a. This is actually, instead of you might have expected, this is a little bit lighter of a liquid than you might expect from vanilla.
Okay.
Yeah, vanilla extract is pretty much black.
Yeah, so it's on that alone, it looks interesting, but the smell was very vanilla-esque. And then, of course, the Fey runes on the jar. And the two Fey runes on the jar seem to indicate joy and health.
Okay. Whoever crafted this wanted people to be healthy and have a good time. This is what at least the jar here.
And how much would this come to?
That is... Well, do you want the whole jar, or did you want just a little bit like you did of the powder?
Oh no, this one I'd be interested in the whole jar.
Absolutely, the whole jar then.
I have the notes thing.
She will pull out her ledger, she will flip through it for a minute, and then... yes, here we are. Current going rate is for the jar, and then... Well, you are a loyal customer, so a little bit of a discount.
Oh boy. Philomene will keep smiling, but deep down she's starting to suspect she's about to get fleeced.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna do an insight check on that.
I'm not seeing anything.
Oh, ouch.
I'm just trying to...
Incidentally, does Dove know much about the inherent, I guess, qualities of Fey cuisine?
They tend to be, as you might expect, tricksy. Sometimes
Also-
they can give you a great time. Sometimes they can give you a bad time.
Let's keep in mind, there's a reason why accepting food from a Fae means that you're indebted to them.
Yes. Sometimes you can have a good time and wake up with missing everything.
Because when she said something about not having illicit substances, and now I see some Fey oils, I'm like,
She might not be aware of what it is.
Maybe.
Those might not be illicit here.
maybe.
And also,
I have a question.
like, yeah, I don't think either myself or Phil's and me would consider these to be illicit. Their flavoring.
Typically,
It tastes good.
if you follow the instructions precisely and show respect to the Fey ingredients, you have a good time.
I want to ask.
And then, yeah, absolutely. You had a question? Go ahead.
Whatever price he's gonna give us for the whole jar of vanilla thing, would I have an idea of what that would go for in the City of Doors,
Same.
or even on Trillium?
Within the City of Doors, probably not. On Trelune, you would have a better idea. You know that something that was created with Fey magic is usually created with life magic, and life is one of the more revered things on Trelune, being that it's a world that also hosts the living dead. So it
Oh,
would
hi.
be expensive. Wait, why? What?
I said, oh, hi.
Oh, hi. So it would be a little bit more expensive on Trelune. You would expect to pay a lot for something like that, just in general. But knowing that it is that much, and it's not a small jar of it, you would expect to pay a handsome amount.
What I know its cost is value in the City of Doors. What I know it to be illicit in the City of Doors.
It is not illicit within the City of Doors. They allow Fey things, and in fact, there's Fey
Yeah.
people that are on the council and all that. So they're open and okay with it. They just, follow the rules, respect it. If you step out of line, we'll correct you and address whatever needs corrected at that point.
I imagine
But
having
it
like
would also be a little expensive.
okay, a little, not like breaking the bank, but it's exotic enough. It's good spices. It's gourmet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you went to buy some nice gourmet Canadian maple syrup right now, you'd expect to pay a little.
Right on.
Yeah, and for the Fey incline, it's like, we would like this.
I like to imagine needing a license to cook with Fey ingredients.
That actually is a
Okay.
thing. If you want to cook specifically at like a restaurant or something, you actually need a Fey license in order to both serve Fey food and serve Fey individuals.
Oh wow, nice.
Because
I mean-
if after she give us her price, I probably have something to say then.
Okay. All right. So as far as the insight checks, Yuzora, as far as you're about to understand, it's going to be totally straight,
Oh my.
no deception, no gouging, nothing. This is full on, across the board, everything's kosher. Philomene, however, you are definitely getting a little bit of that feeling that she is going to get as much money from you as she thinks she might be able to. So it's going to be a little bit of some price gouging, most likely.
Right.
You don't get the sense that she's going to take cleaners, but you could probably talk the price down if you wish.
I will happily assist by bringing up. It would be a shame to have to take all of this all the way back to your country, having done so little business with these intransigent dragon folk. Surely it would be to your benefit to lighten your load.
Make that persuasion check. You have advantage.
Bellamy or me?
You, Duff. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, so far I've only been observing. I've not really been making any counterpoint.
Pew. Gross.
Wow. Gross.
Shemaya.
What the hell?
Yikes.
That's poor.
Unfortunate. You did, however, put that very well, and you hit like right on the sensitive spot. She is coming back, essentially a failure at this point, and this being able to offload almost any and every good seems to be something that she is encouraged now to do, because this one made a good point. I should offload some of this. So she pauses as she's about to say something, makes a bit of a face, and then takes a deep breath. I was going to ask for the street price of 1,400, but I suppose I could part with it for 900.
Oof. But I've not touched I've not touched any of my 2,000.
That's true.
Hmm.
How much do you value vanilla?
On itself, not that much.
That's
Fave
what
vanilla
happens.
might have more to it.
That's what happens when you buy concentrated shit.
Mhm. We get a lot of mileage out of it.
Also, keep in mind that vanilla is equivalent normally in this kind of world. It's not to us.
I actually have an interest in this as well. I can go in on. I can go in it
Well-
with you for about. I can offer you 300 if you'd like.
600 is definitely something I'd be willing to take out of my own credit. Which, by the way, I'm noticing I don't think I've had it to my. Oh well, I'll fix that later.
Mhm.
So yep, I think we'll take it.
Fabulous. I look forward to trying some recipes of brew with this.
And I look forward to seeing what wonderful sweets I can make of this. Maybe with a few of my own berries.
She seems elated that you have agreed to take the Fey vanilla.
If just so I can go in on this, because again, vanilla, taste of home, fun stuff. I'll throw in a chunk just to split it 3 ways.
Oh,
3
three
each.
ways.
All right. Mm.
Hey,
Another one?
yeah, it's like 300 from me, 300 from everybody. It's like, okay, covers the 900.
There we are.
So that is
I mean-
henna bean extract.
I will take it out of my. Well, actually, she is down with our promissory notes so far, so I will take it out of my credit.
Yep, she seems to accept that. She didn't get any, discount off of either of you, and you said it's backed up and it's legit. So she seems to be happy with that.
Yep, I'm willing. I'm using my credit on that too, and it's like, we're gonna do what we can. Gotta stay above the board.
And Yazora,
There we
as
go.
you take a look at this extract as well, you do get a very Fey sense from it. So there's no, I guess, bullshit, at least in the
Hmm.
fact that it is Fey influenced. Whether or not the actual process is that fairies come and bless the fields at night is, who knows if that's true. But
What
it definitely has Fey to it.
Let's say, what type of check would that be, just to see what would be actually going on here?
I don't think you'd be able to determine that with just the extract. You would have to likely see the actual fields.
Hey, works for me. Just it's like, okay, this is Fey. Taste of home. I'm assuming that the extract is going into Philsme's inventory.
No,
Considering it's
So
like one jar.
actually, I'd add it to the backpack.
Okay.
oh yeah, there you go, there you go. But yeah, since there's no, I suppose, like actual mechanical use to it, you could have each added a item to your inventory, but adding it to the backpack works perfectly. There
Okay.
is a lot in there, so you could do a lot with it. There are potential consequences since you are cooking with Fey product, but that'll happen if you actually get down and start cooking with it later. Like, we can get to that when that happens.
Okay, so basically, I'm getting from that. Don't do the dumb thing I was about to do and dip your finger in it to lick. To get a taste test.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yozora
by
would
all
stop
means,
that.
do whatever you want.
Now, Billy me almost wants to do that, but knows better because she actually knows enough of the Fae.
Not to mention, again, as I noted, Yozora would stop that, having grown up amongst the Fae. You're not going to let that happen. You don't disrespect the food.
Philomene gets high.
Oh
And
boy.
to the point of offloading your goods, such as this. This one would recommend that you promote the trade agreement it has provided to your government. Should they adhere to it, this one would refer you to Article 2(1) Alinea A.
And this is
You
the
would-
agreement you handed her a copy of earlier, right?
Yes.
She will open it up, flip to that, and study it along with you as you recite it. Go ahead.
Should a product or service have superior value off-world, it will be sold for at the very least the local price and 50% of the discrepancy. You would be able to make more profits on all of your goods.
She reads that again, nods, then her eyes narrow and she stares at the page, then back up at all of you. Wait. The wording on this is very specific. It mentions selling
Shit.
goods on other worlds.
Yeah, that just fucking tipped our hand.
How is this something that is even possible? Have you been to other worlds? Do you have access to them now?
Indeed.
No subterfuge.
Feeling me will a little bit visibly like shrink in her face, like that little sweat drop on the side of her face.
We are simply envoys. We were sent out here to learn, seek, try to establish contact here. We were most it was most fortuitous that we stumbled across you as our delegates back there. I mean, to talk to your people. Meanwhile, we had to continue on our way. But yes, we are, how do you say, travelers who have traveled from a very long distance away.
She again gives each of you a very slow, appraising look. I had you pegged, each of you,
Oh,
as
promise?
as simply businessmen, traders, merchants, or their escorts and the like. But you are diplomats yourselves from another world,
Of course.
or other worlds, multiple. This, she again shakes the agreement for a moment. This has implications.
We did say we are imbued with the authority to make these deals and arrangements.
That is true, of which I am most appreciative, especially now. Allow me then to ask you this. Would your... She struggles for a moment, then simply shrugs. World, for lack of better understanding, I suppose, be amenable to accepting refugees, or those who simply wish to escape?
Yozora's going to narrow their eyes at that. It's like, wait, what?
From what? I mean, it is not unheard of, and the discussions are on the table already. But from what?
I don't know what all you know about where you are.
We've...
You do know this is Yomei, correctly?
Yes.
Yes.
We've
we
gleaned some information from some very good boys about what the Emperor is and would have everyone believe he is.
She seems to nod at that for a moment. Then you understand that the territories, not all of them are equal, not all of them have the same consideration to them. Those that were handed down oh so long ago to each of us in the different territories. There are those who wish to no longer bow and scrape and send to an emperor an ascentrance of government that would so dissatisfactorily distribute the lands and the goods and the resources. If we are to believe that Yome is of a history of business and commerce and, well, ancient bloody conquest, thankfully that's over, then why would they stack the deck so heavily in favor of some and leave some so struggling? It is no secret that my people and the rat folk that also dwell within the borders of Akina, that we suffer and struggle we can to feed ourselves and our people. Food is rare and hard to come by. Crops do not grow well. Herds do not move through our territory.
I have
One
indeed.
can only survive for so long on root vegetables.
This one understands you're concerned. It also understands why you would think about sending refugees our way. And while it is an understandable reaction, and one that through talks and negotiations could possibly be arranged, it is also perhaps too quick a decision. As the document you hold demonstrates, changes are coming to Yome. Changes for the better. And should your population diminish, those changes will be harder to make and will take root that much slower.
Let me ask you this then. Would your, wherever you're from, your people, your governments, would they be amenable to an ally and not just refugees? Allies of a sovereign individual state?
It is what we were sent to find.
Absolutely.
If I may propose something here.
She looks over at Yuzora.
While I agree I hear both sides of this argument, or this discussion, I should say, not argument, about the whole refugees needing supplies and maybe not sending too many too fast. We have established for want of a better word, a forward base. Gestures in the general direction of where they came from, and I can point, and also I can point it out on the map. If you would like to sell people who would, or not sell, sorry, skip that word, sorry. I'm on the wrong, I'm still, yeah.
She is a moneymaker.
If you would like to send some
He
people
likes to sell
there
people.
to help to establish contact with people who are more higher up the food chain, if you will, than we are. That
I
might
would
be a good
say
way to start.
longer term negotiations. We are about as high in the food chain as we get right now.
Yes, but there are those who we don't know what the state is back there right this second.
Exactly.
If we were to say
Longer term.
if we were to say this is all hypothetical here. If I would say send all your refugees right now, all that you want to, all that you can, and we don't have the support structure back there to support them, that would put you in just as bad a place, maybe worse.
Of course not. Yes, it's a drip feed.
But yeah, sending a diplomat of your people, maybe some refugees, because we could use some help back there, and talking to people who are able to give you more time, more consideration than what we can do right now. Off the top of my head, I'll fully admit, I am not the diplomat of this party.
Mhm.
But would that be amenable?
You
Very
being
much so.
You being the shrewd businesswoman you are, of course, are very aware of the rarity of something for nothing.
I would
Labor
not
is
expect
valuable.
something for nothing, of course.
These are things to bring to the table, most definitely. And I have seen the borders of Helgatha. I am no stranger to certain powers that be, offering nothing but the short end of the stick.
And if anything, we are still establishing our own presence in these lands. And, well, having someone who can contribute more meaningfully from a position of knowledge would certainly earn the grace of our own masters back home and put them in a good position for any future, for the future, really.
For me, you have my support in matters that pertain to bringing the light, to illuminating the truth about this emperor of yours.
She considers for a moment. If I were to send back an immediate dispatch when we arrive, when I get back to the Silkweb Estates and I can set your envoy up and get them in communication, if I were to send back immediately a party of traders, diplomats, and goods inspectors, would you be able and willing to host them at whatever it is you have, and perhaps agree to meet with them on your territory to discuss opening a lot of these trade windows and possibilities for immigration?
They
Other
would
Twin Wings.
absolutely be most welcome.
And
Considering our goal here is to create allies, learn and help the land, I also cannot see a reason for why we would turn them away.
Would you be willing to put this in writing?
Yozor's going to very distinctly look at one who leans on that one. Again,
He's
they're the
already
diplomat.
writing.
Okay.
Speaking of which, would you happen... Any information you have upon the state of the Empire, the Emperor himself, that this dispatch could bring to our forward base for the illumination of the education of our greater speakers there.
Of course.
That would be
This
fantastic.
should be sent back with all instructions.
And is there anything that you can tell us? What is your position on the Emperor? Your perspective.
At that, she looks around at all the other Arachni around her, and many of them purposefully turn away and do not look at her as if they're trying to pointedly ignore her. She nods and looks back at all of
If she seemed to pick up what I was putting down when I was speaking Thieves' Cant, that is how I'd like to be saying this.
you.
Because it does to me, it does to both Slappy and Dove seem to be foolish to say, "Hey, what do you think about the fascist above us?"
She does finally turn back towards you, and she calmly folds her hands in what would, I guess, essentially be her lap. My current feelings on the Empire are that it is a fractured, unnecessary, and wholly superfluous entity. I think that the nations of Yome, and yes, I do say the nations of Yome, are much better independently as they are. I think that we'd be much better off without a lot of the decrees and orders and laws and foolishness that come out of the Forbidden City. with the pin of someone who is likely a long since dead man, even if he were not dead back when the legends say that he died and somehow is still alive. Even if that were not a thing, he had become some magical being. And now, surely, a full 1,000 years later, he is but dust. Whoever or whatever this emperor is sending out these decrees, laws, and missives for now, is clearly some empty figurehead. After all, why else were the territories given governance over themselves than to purposefully create a redundant system for the people of Yome to govern themselves?
The first lie is immortality.
A deep stare.
Yeah, it's like I'd like to insight check that just to make sure.
Absolutely.
Not as good as I would like, but that's better than the last roll.
You get a sense that she was being honest.
Okay. Uzora just quietly stroking their chins, like, the immediate thought I could have on that is everybody weaker. A united force is a lot harder to defeat than a divided one.
I would also like to insight. Does she seem to be coming from a place of personal interest, or from a place of, no, we'd all be better off?
Absolutely, go ahead. You get a sense that it's actually a little bit of both. There's definitely some personal interest. You see some specific laws, likely relating to like trade goods or commodities or taxes, or something that someone rich would want to do away with to make themselves more rich. But she also genuinely seems to express that she thinks Yome is better as the separate nations than it is as the one indivisible empire. And she thinks that each of the territories should be able to govern and rule for themselves. Akina is not the traditional militarists that you might expect from, say, Monogra.
Yes.
Our attitudes are a little bit more open, a little bit more progressive. On top of that, it is one of the more harsh of the territories to survive in. The sheer fact that it has been the rat folk and ourselves, the Arachni, that have clearly flourished there, shows the hardiness of our peoples, both of us, and our ability to decide differences and work together when it is necessary. But it has also showed that we do not need the Empire, and that most of what it imposes upon us is extraneous and unnecessary.
An invented position, like a middle manager.
Very akin to something that might be considered a middle manager, yes. Someone that goes between the direct labor and those that direct the labor.
This one must insist that while an alliance would be most profitable, we are not to be considered hostile to the Empire at this moment in time.
Of course not.
Well, that's likely an advantageous position, as they would more than likely, should you prove to be hostile, come in and obliterate you.
And
This one understands, due to the circumstances, agreements made will have to be done so with a level of discretion. Considering that fact, the Senate would prove lenient regarding documentation. However, any party you send to us would have to be able to prove their ambassadorial status provided by your government. As such, this one would like to agree on a sign, a symbol, representing such values.
By all means, what is your suggestion?
And okay. Okay, one who leans is not a logo designer, but something that looks like a mix of whatever symbol the Senate use and the spider.
Okay.
I have commissions waiting. I don't want to design something else.
That seems agreeable. I believe we could do something like that. No problem. And you have it in writing, this agreement?
Yup.
All right, she will read it over, and then she will quickly sign it.
Awesome.
You'll see her pull out it looks like a small metal rod. She waves it over the document, and then waves it over a empty part of the crate you've been using as a table, and a duplicate document appears with all the signatures and everything in place.
Shit, we got documancy.
Most convenient.
She will put wax on both of them and add her seal and turn it to you to add your seals to both.
Definitely doing that.
She will hand one back to you and she will keep one for herself.
This concludes the arrangement.
I do believe it does. And it seems that with your
Okay.
assistance of your friends and companions and the
Oh.
soldiers and mercenaries I have with me, that the path is clear, and we may once more continue on our way. And if your delegation is ready, they may, of course, come with us, and you may return to your path.
Yes. This one believes we are ready to depart. However, it has a couple questions left. One,
The rest of the crew seems to be getting everything ready and picking up and, making final adjustments, like brushing a few stray branches out of the way. And she just nods at one who leaves. Yes, of course, ask away.
the first one concerns our mission directly. If you are aware of other nations who feel the same discontent yours do regarding the administration of the Empire, it would be useful to us in our talks.
I personally am not aware of any other groups that share the same sentiments. Akina, again, is a very unique position and unique situation that we are in. Being as we are on the edge of the free territories, as close as we are to those who have it better, it is almost as if every day it is directly in our face. Look at the lands, for instance, that Managra has. Wide open fields, lush farmland, places where herds can roam and be made fat to be used as goods later. Fleece, their meat.
Understood. And this one, second question, is a personal one. This one comes from a place where, on a daily basis, funeral matters are attended to. And thus it is curious about your people's funeral rituals.
Where Dove comes from, this is also a threat.
When an Arachni passes, they are wrapped up in familial silks, and they are burned. Their ashes are spread between three places. One their ashes are spread amongst the familial home, the resting grounds, essentially, of the rest of their ancestors and their family, however long and forever unto. One, they are taken and spread at the grounds, at the Grand Widow's Palace. That is the de facto leader of our people. And the last, they are taken to the ocean, and they are scattered into the waves, so that perhaps one day they might find our original home once more and return to it.
This one thanks you for indulging its curiosity.
She will nod at that. Is there anything else that you need?
This one believes we are ready.
Then I wish you luck in your dealings with the conservators up north.
Nothing more than the traditional kiss for good luck. I'll take her hand. Farewell.
She will bow deeply to Dove.
I'll go to the diplomats. Yeah. Boom, boom. Not before bowing, of course. A courtesy. I'll sidle over to the diplomats and just give them, as they're putting their packs back on and what have you, just, I think we are of a like mind, they and us. But don't get taken for a ride. Keep your eyes peeled.
Okay. Well, as everybody's getting ready to leave, one of Leans is just gonna do a little prayer for the travel. A prayer to the Great Mound that their travel is safe and that their cycle takes them when their time comes and not a minute sooner.
All right, and exciting news with that official signed contract. The Arachni have officially been unlocked for the setting.
Ha! Yay.
Ooh, nice.
Yes.
We
did
made
something good.
plans.
Also, I took the time to add the extract to the haversack.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, in our negotiations, could also throw a bit of deep charcoal fabric for a lovely set of breeches to go with the burgundy tunic.
She will absolutely cut that cloth for you herself and hand it to you.
Oh, wonderful. I think I'm going to have some fineries. It should be for a complete outfit.
But her group and the delegates will all eventually make their way down the eastern path, heading for the more rough lands of Akina.
Well then, I do believe we had best be on our way. How so?
So hang on. Above table, Taildove, can he wear medium armor, so to speak, or is it just light?
I might be able to wear medium armor, but it's not in my best interest.
Okay. Because I'm tempted to give you the studded armor that I gave you to maybe to use as like scraps and stuff like that to possibly help with the score. I guess I don't know if that can be done or not.
Well, let me see. I cannot. I am not proficient in medium armor.
Okay, no problem.
Also, medium armor has a dex modifier limit of 2,
Okay.
and I need that.
Yeah.
I need my 3. Oh, there's one going on right now, is there?
There is not. That will be the campaign that will take place in Akina.
Wrapped in widow silk. Okay, let's hope that whoever does that doesn't F it up.
Okay, I think I'm good. I think my politics boner can carry me through a few
You're good
combats.
now.
Yeah.
Just afterglow for the next several sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we had our fun. It's time for the mushroom to have his fun.
The path lays out north,
Ah, shit! I didn't mean
heading
to do that.
further into the mountains.
But it was great. We find so many honeycombs and sweet berries on the way. Oops, I misclicked on my sheet, but I'll take it.
Can we stockpile
What a
that
waste
nat
of a
20
night
for
time.
later?
For real.
I mean, that's a pretty good check. You definitely do not get lost. You make your way through and find, anything you feel like you need along the way.
Oh look, emerald pears.
Oh look, an M1 machine gun.
What is that doing?
Oh god. Man.
I'm not playing my artificer yet.
All right. Well, I guess let's go.
Yeah.
I'm all
here
ready
for it.
for the next bit.
Let's ride.
I'd like to pack one of the small kegs of my brewer's kit with some of that Fey vanilla extract. Well, I guess when we first take our first camping rest. I don't want to be in a rush to do it. I want to follow the instructions carefully and ask for advice.
You may absolutely fill up whatever container you want. If you want to actually brew something with it, try to brew like
Yes.
some vanilla ale.
Yes, definitely. I would like to.
That is something we can
So
get
that would
into
be-
at a
That would
rest.
be mead.
Basically,
Yeah.
yeah.
If that survival check can help me find some berries and honey to make part of this. Then I
Oh,
would
to
be-
add to it? Absolutely.
then that would
I
be
mean,
ever so lovely.
remember
You do have
that my
berries.
hair does remember that my hair does produce a small amount of berries every day.
It does.
I mean, yeah, you can just pick them out of Philome's hair.
I'm also interested in the local flora. See what I can find here, because it'll be of note in the future. Yes.
But yeah, throughout these, let's see, we're in the foothills, basically going into the mountains. There's you'd definitely be able to find like some blackberries, honey. Absolutely, you would be able to find, a hive here and there, get some honeycomb from it if you're, brave enough. A 20, you'd survive whatever the hive might have in store for you. Yeah, you can absolutely find those ingredients along the way.
Oh, excellent.
Just smoke him away from the comb and take it.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
Meanwhile, I assume we have only some basic supplies for food on the way, so Philomene will make a small batch of. Along the way, Philomene will make a small batch of basic oat cookies with just a tiny bit of the Fey vanilla in it to test it out.
What were you making specifically again?
Oat cookies.
You want to make
the-
cookies? You want to make cookies on the way? You don't have an oven with you.
Yeah, it's hard to
My
do on the
magic's
road.
Good, but not
Baking-
that good.
Baking on the road is gonna be tricky.
I
Cooking
mean, that's
is a different
that's
story,
why
but
that's
baking
but
can be
that's why you
tricky.
make some just basic mixture of oats with water and just let it harden into a cookie.
Ah,
Kind
you're
of
doing like bakeless cookies.
Yeah.
Or you could
Yeah.
do like
No, not-
whenever we take a long rest, we can make a clay oven.
Well, I
That'd
mean,
be awesome.
Philomene is not that accomplished a cook or anything. She's the kind that does things on the road. So basic cookies like just over a campfire or stuff like that.
Okay. Absolutely. We can make some no-bake cookies along the way using how much? Do you want to use a lot or a little of it?
Just a little. She's making the cookies mostly just as a means to test the vanilla.
Okay, go ahead and make your survival check as well, much like Dove did.
Can I help with that?
You absolutely may offer assistance so that you have advantage on the check.
Oh, wonderful.
Ooh.
Oh.
Well,
That-
that was Bowen.
That's Boan.
Wow.
Okay. No, yeah. We do that because I did not roll on the right sheet.
Yeah. You absolutely may go ahead, re-roll that. Survival with advantage. Oh
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
What the hell?
Could I roll and see if I can help with that?
That was the
you-
advantage.
no! Yeah, you wouldn't be able to, unfortunately, since you were offering the assistance. But
Okay, fair enough.
All my rolls have been bad today. In this, well, most of my rolls.
I have a
I
plus
roll
6
for it?
survival.
Nice.
yeah, Philomene's got like a +4. That was just the dice said, nah.
I've got a +4 as well, but I offered help, so I can't roll, so I can't. I've tried.
Let's just say that in any case, the cookies were not meant to be super good. They were just meant to be a vessel for seeing what the vanilla does.
Is this the right table? This is the right table. Okay. So you are about to find out what happens when you don't do a super great job with the vanilla.
Oh, lovely. Good.
Please tell me we're not about to deal with the flying spaghetti monster only cookie form.
Wild
We'll see.
magic surge, baby. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Let's just say that no matter what, only Philemy will have eaten the cookies because that's a test. Was the intention from to begin with?
Dove will share when this meat is done, but it's gonna take a while.
All right, Philome, I need you to roll me a D100.
Oh boy. Wish me luck, everyone.
Okay, so that is this one.
So,
All right. Okay.
how weird am I gonna be for the next few days?
So this is as soon as you take a bite, this is going to happen. As soon as you take like a bite to taste it, everyone who's around you, and yourself, of course, and probably Bowen, because you're probably riding Bowen while you're doing this, or you walking Bowen, or at least.
Pretty much riding Bohan, yes.
All right, so everyone's going to need to make a strength saving throw.
Oh,
Ah, crap.
I'm halfway okay with that.
Why
I'm not.
everyone? I'm the
I
only
got a
one that.
9.
okay. So
What
of,
the hell?
so of note, before I fall and break my shit, what I
Hello?
did when I started making this mead was I take all the ingredients. I'll figure out exactly what bears I put in there later, but I put it in like a small like kind of a kegerator kind of size keg, and I put that
Sure.
shit in a handy haversack because I'm not going to be touching
Okay.
it. I want it to be temperature controlled. It's just lukewarm temperature, and I'm just going to let that ferment in the keg
Absolutely.
with about for that with about
I'm
an ounce and a
really
half
worried.
of the vanilla.
I'm now suddenly worried about why everyone needs to do a strength save check when I'm the one that ate the cookie.
Dumb
Mhm.
question.
Fey fart.
Hold up, let me double check something here real quick.
I ate. This is what came to my
Oh
brain.
yeah.
Yeah, by the way, my connection dropped and
Um,
then I saw everybody rolling strength saves. What's going on?
Oh,
Fey
I
Does
fart.
have
this
to,
count as a
Probably.
magical effect?
does Mohan need to do the strength save check too?
Yes.
Yeah, Bowen would need to make the strength save.
Good roll.
What about Aiden
Wow.
and
What the
Chibi
hell?
Suzuki?
Aiden and Chibi would also need to make strength saves.
Well,
And yes, it does count as magical or a magical like effect. It is Fey magic that is triggering. So if you have advantage against it, you may roll with advantage.
Chibi Susuke is right next to me, and I share the magic resistance as long as it's right. That's right. Am I remembering that right?
Damn. Let me see.
Yes, okay. While it was in 10
I
feet
can't
of me,
look at
which
him.
it is, I get to share the magic resistance trait. So,
So yeah, you and Shibisuke will both have advantage on this save.
okay, one more strength check. That's not going to give me any better than the 9. And Shibisuke,
Unfortunate.
15 and or... yeah, 15.
Okay.
I was really hoping that magic resistance would actually help me. Damn.
Yeah.
I really thought I was gonna have a decent
like to
score on
apologize
mine.
to
I had
everyone in
the biggest
advance.
amount.
Yeah, your
Biggest
plus
strength
your
save.
+5 is great.
So what happens as you bite into this? As there is a wave of magic that seems to quote unquote bite back. And everybody around up to about 20 feet needs to make this strength saving throw, or they are in fact knocked on their ass. And in this case, Wither, One Who Leans, and Aiden and Chibisuke all remain standing, floating, flying, whatever they're doing.
It's only a 10. God
Okay,
damn
what
it.
does that mean for Boan since I'm riding on her?
Boan, however, along with everyone else, is going to be knocked on their butt for a moment. Make a dexterity saving throw as you are basically thrown off of Boan.
That's what I figured.
It's the advantage of leaning all day, every day. I'm stable as hell.
You
You're a pyramid.
managed to tumble to safety as you were thrown from Boan's back. Now, the food did taste pretty good, so there was at least that. It's just got a bit of a bite to it.
It's like,
Ah!
could I have a couple of those cookies? I can think of a couple of uses for them in their current state.
My ear's ringing. Ah,
Like,
What did you-
okay.
what did you...
Wither just kind of shakes it off and like, wait, what the hell does that? What's that?
Philemy just knocks the star out of from her other head and just hands the cookies to Yozora and says, "Be careful, the taste of it will knock you off your ass." Literally.
Yozora picking themselves up. Yeah, that's what I'm counting on.
This one believes that it's gotten to every of its spores. However, be careful not to blow more into the wind.
Anybody paying attention? It's like Yozora just picks themselves up, uses their staff to crack their back after that one's like, and you just hear this, like all the way up the back. Ah,
If you'd like, you may roll an Arcana check to see what's up with these cookies.
one Arcana check. Yes, please. Please be good.
What do I roll to just process what I experienced as I've been into it?
There's no roll necessary. You may just kind of shake that off as a maybe I'm better baker than I thought.
Okay.
Ah.
It seems that the Fey magic in these, being that they were made
Mhm.
unconventionally from what you might expect cookies to be made, have decided to be a little bit unconventional themselves, and so biting into one will trigger a wild magic effect.
Oh my god.
Great. I made more magic cookies.
Basically, a wild magic each time you bite one.
Yozora looks at them and like carefully pockets them and looks at the group. No one else take these cookies.
Dove
Your
knows a
magic-
challenge when he sees one.
The magic within them is very unpredictable.
How many did you make? Did you make like a full baker's dozen?
No, not that many. I'll have just like made, let's say 3 or 4, maybe.
Okay. There'll be 3 left then.
Okay, it's like I've heard tales of this type of magic. It could do great things for buffing magic, such as, amplifying your magical strength tenfold. I've also heard tales of this type of magic turning you into a potted plant.
Or turning your harm invisible when you reach into a bag of holding.
Well,
Yeah.
if the...
Or
If we didn't-
turning your whole party along with Strahd into sheep.
Well, if we didn't have access to illicit substances before.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I have 3 wild magic cookies apparently.
You can give the puppers biscuits with their tea now.
Oh,
Yeah, for real, yeah.
God. Jesus. You're lucky on that roll, by the way, for Yozora.
Well,
We like pickpocket them, start eating them.
I mean,
love it.
I did make 4, and the whole blast happened on the first bite, which means there's probably a half-eaten cookie somewhere on the ground.
if I see that, I'm running the ever-loving hell away.
It's gonna be there till like some squirrel comes along and blows themselves up.
Or
I
a
rem-
pigeon just exploding on contact.
Yeah, I remember I heard a story about somebody who had wild magic. They rolled so badly they ended up casting fireball on themselves, surviving. I don't remember the exact thing, but they ended up having to do another wild magic surge, and they
Well,
cast
why the-
fireball on
Okay,
themselves.
sorry, what
again.
if... I'm not sure why that was rolling.
I still had your token selected.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I know the dangers of wild magic, so I didn't want to play a wild magic character. I
I
don't need
have-
to end up blowing myself up.
I have one
Unintentionally.
word.
Go
res-
on.
I have one word in response to wild magic tables. Chussy.
Fair.
I
This
homebrew
area,
my tables.
yeah, this area
Same.
remains fairly wild. This one would not recommend lingering, in case this attracted locals.
Moving on then.
Well then, let's just move on. And the half-eaten cookie gets forgotten.
I'm glad my brew is in the haversack.
There's a squirrel that's gonna have such a surprise.
Yeah, that's what that roll was. I know what the next effect is for somebody that bites it.
Nice.
I
Oh
just...
gods. Okay, I'm gonna be right back and get some water.
I'm curious to see what this area will look like when we get
When
around
we
to
get
here on the way
through.
back.
The party is able to continue on their way north, relatively undisturbed, I suppose, until you finally get into the mountains proper, where visibility past a certain area is a little bit more difficult as vast hills will rise up around you as you're wandering through what is essentially
Rise up.
long since dug ravines and valleys and these spots between these hills. There are a few places where it will be very narrow. There are ledges and drops, and you are definitely rising in elevation as the air gets a little bit cooler. The temperatures and their variance seem to swing a little bit more wildly. It's much more colder at night. Sometimes it gets much more warmer at day. As you're higher up, you have less cover, less exposure, and eventually you find yourself moving into these mountains and into a section where the valleys and the ravines are starting to widen up a little bit more. And that'll lead us to this next area where you've now also, as you travel, started to see occasionally ruins up here in the mountains. Ancient stone structures, some of which you've spotted in the distance. At one point, there was what looked like a watchtower that was completely collapsed. You saw basically what was just the foundation of it left, and it was off in the distance on a hill that seemed very difficult to get to, as if perhaps at some point or another a land mass shift probably took the tower and much of the environment in the area with it.
11th level spell, move mountain.
But that brings you here to the
Okay,
woods
I'm back.
and the mountains. The way ahead leads through some dense brush, and there are high hills on either side. and you can see where there's an opening up ahead that heads left, and of course the path continues on further straight.
I, of course, would like to be ever so observant.
Felemy will be taking the 4 as the van as usual. Because
And-
if you want anyone to get ambushed, you want it to be the paladin first, not the squishy ones.
And Wither's gonna go left side up and up this tree to the left. And I would like to investigate the area as well.
This tree here?
The big red one up.
Oh, this one here?
Yep. Well,
Okay.
that grouping of them, I should say. I want to kind of go a little bit deeper in than that.
You can see that the mountain ridge is next to it. You're able to climb this one. These others seem as if they're higher up above you on the top of the mountain ridge.
Dove will go ahead and just cruise along the wall on the upper right side. He's not typically too keen on feeling like he's surrounded on all sides.
Fair.
And we'll
As you climb into the trees or are walking along the walls or are simply just walking along the path, feel free to make perception check.
say, what, 20 feet?
I'm going to send Chibi Susuke up into the air and do a perception check as well.
Seldov one-upped me.
I would hope so. With that score.
$1,001, Bob.
Damn. Not throwing that hot on that.
Actually, can I have Aiden assist me on this?
Absolutely.
Give advantage? Not bad for an advantage.
All right, so starting with Philome, as you are riding Boan further up the path, you see that there is a slope that goes up to the left. And further ahead on the straight and narrow, you see that there's some ruins up there. And path that continues beyond it.
Gonna slowly and carefully approach the ruins.
One who leans and Dove and Wither. The three of you hear overhead occasionally the sound of leathery wings.
We can't stop here. This is Dragon Country.
How does Aiden react to it?
Aiden doesn't seem to react.
As in, like, he's not worried, or just he has no response to it in general?
Did you have him roll a perception check?
No,
Yes.
Aiden was assisting.
Yeah, he was assisting with me.
That's what I thought.
But even sensing it through you, Aiden does not seem to react. It's unclear immediately to you if it is because not threatened or if because it just, seems okay with it.
I'll be sneaky.
Fair enough.
Pew! Pew pew! Pew pew, but you don't hear it.
And I'm
Tank
going
is
to actually
leaving us
follow
behind.
suit on that, too.
Pew pew.
Right? Dove's pretty sneaky. Whether not so much.
Mhm.
Philome, as you get to here, you can see going to the left that the slope leads up and seems to turn as well, more towards the south, starting about here.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see the ruins up
Thanks.
ahead and the rest of the path that seems to continue on. And some more of the sheer cliff of the immediate surrounding mountains.
All right, gonna keep on making my way toward the the runes to check them out and trust the slope to Wither.
Okay.
Yep, and I'll continue to kind of go that way, and still keep in sight of everybody else, so to speak, and but still be kind of stealthy, and work towards that left way, and just kind of peer down that way, see what I can see.
I'm gonna stop here where it's like I've got eyes on both paths, and I've got an Eldritch Blast I can throw either way to protect anybody.
Okay.
So, anyways, I started blasting.
Wither, make me your choice of acrobatics or athletics check as you go up this steep slope.
With my boots of striding and
go-
springing,
What?
can I jump from one wall to the other here?
From there to there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably manage it.
But let's say I think the maximum length was like 30 feet. So
Nyum. Fucking ninja scroll through the trees.
There's my athletics for you.
I didn't know he could fly too.
All right, Wither, you make it up to the top of the slope, no problem. There's a couple of spots where it looks like it's a little bit more difficult, a little bit slippery, but you navigate and pull yourself up by sheer strength alone. And as you get to the top, you see some stuff.
Or 20? Let me go above the butt.
There appear to be some ruins up here as well.
I spy with my little
Philomene.
eye. Oh, sorry.
Beyond the ruins here, you spy a cave opening.
Ooh.
Es un café.
Whether I was going to turn around and motion to Zelda to go in, but he was like right there, like, oh hi.
And I hang down from the branch, upside down. Just I spy with my little eye something that rhymes with breast.
What?
Now guess.
Civil unrest?
Shall we? He kind of looks up there and tries to kind of doesn't really kind of notion to it, but just like kind of almost kind of tries to hide it from everybody else, but haven't sailed of. And it's like, shall we go check it out? Just to be honest.
Well, I see no reason why not. What could possibly go wrong when checking out a random chest in the wilderness?
Not again.
Hang on. I'm gonna do one thing to see what happens. This time, let's be cautious instead.
Oh well,
Philomene will-
if you insist.
Meanwhile, Philomene goes to the entrance of the cave and try to see what she can see in it.
All right.
She will have got enough bond.
I'd like to assist Philomene. I want to like cast light on a rock and throw it into the cave.
Okay. Let me pull you here as well. So as the two of you approach the cave, this is all you can see at first. Where would you like to direct your rock?
Well, this way.
I threw a rock at him.
To land about back here somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to reveal a little bit.
Oh,
Get that 1 second.
Oh, cool. We are on 2 separate maps, aren't we?
Yep.
Oh, lovely.
Oh boy.
Okay. I mean, there were 2 maps listed at the top of the thing, and now I only see 1. Can you bring me back into the game? Thank you.
Should be back, yeah?
Yep. All right.
There's some weird shit in there.
Oh, that sounds promising.
All right, so the light, as it attached
I'm
to this
waiting.
rock, goes clack, clack, clack to about here. It shines some light in an area you see a little bit further deep back into the cave. There's a large rock here. You see this stuff here. There seems to be a gap there, and there's more open space here. And the light seems to go this direction, but not hit a wall for a large chunk.
Well
Okay.
then, that's something we'll want to explore as a group. Let's look
I-
into it for a minute.
I want to see if I can distinguish what that is, that colorful stuff in the back.
Go ahead and make a nature check.
I'm waiting for whichever group yells for help the first at this point.
Teacher!
Teacher, we found something!
Ah, crap.
Teacher, I eated my crayons.
You're pretty sure those are some sort of fungi.
Party.
My people. Yeah. No more information.
Well then,
No information, no other information, unfortunately, for now.
Well then, let's just step back for now and see what the rest of the group has to say about us checking out this cave.
Sure. I'm gonna drop light out of politeness, not to disturb the fungi.
How kind of you.
Oh.
In fact, have inspiration for that. That is just
Oh.
downright kind.
So sweet.
All right, so you're over there poking your head in and taking a look around. Wither and Dove are over here poking around with this.
Skitter, skitter, skitter. I'm skittering along the walls. I'm approaching the chest from atop, like Blade 2, I think, like when they're...
I get it. Yep.
Are there any obvious, oh gosh, I don't know, fucking bone zone piles over here, or blast marks around the fucking chest?
You do not see any of the very distinct warning signs that you saw last time.
Okay. I'd love to take a little peek-see at this chest, see if it's looking just so kosher. Is it so kind to us?
And I'll throw an assist up to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
How are we doing?
Then we'll walk back to Yozora and say, well, we found a cave that seems interesting to explore. How fare the others?
I don't know yet. I'm listening. Actually, on my end, I'm going to send just Chibi Susuke up so I can actually keep an eye on them. Just if anybody paying attention will see Yozora's eyes turn reptilian, same color as Chibi Susuke's.
Oh, it's our little voyeur. Hello.
Both Chibi Susuke and Yozora back on the ground, just deadpan. Just a deadpan look.
Yeah, by all means, go ahead, roll that investigation check with advantage.
Whether I think your investigation is actually better. I have a +1.
Okay, I guess I'll do it with an advantage. Yeah, because I'm 2, so.
I got 3.
Smirt. Okay.
Not bad, but not great.
Yeah.
It is definitely locked, and it is definitely trapped.
Okay.
Can I tell how it's trapped?
It seems to be a mechanical trap. This does not seem to have any mechanical trap to it.
All right,
All right. Yeah. It looks like it's
I'm coming in.
mechanically trapped and locked. Your cue? He looks over and steps aside.
All right, rub my shoulders. Here we go. I'm going in.
I'll step behind you then.
Everything seems a bit silent. Is everything fine over there, Eudora?
They're about to open in their treasure chest.
Oh boy, I'm heading over there to keep an eye on things.
Hey, wait. I've got eyes on them already. Don't worry.
Yeah, just a nice treasure chest in the middle of this fucking boss arena. So, does the ringman pep give me? Is that the help action for advantage?
Yes, you can get
I'm
a
here for it.
shoulder rub for advantage on the check.
Wonderful.
Whether it puts a little extra strength into it just to,
Yeah,
to
get
try and calm Saildo down.
Okay. Well, clearly I'm going for the trap first.
When does malaxation become molestation?
Oops. Ah, good.
That is more than enough. You disarm the trap with a simple click.
When consent is revoked, obviously. All right. Great. All right.
Whether it just keeps going. Just get it.
A
You
little
got
lower.
this. Go for it.
A little lower.
Got this.
A little more claw.
You got this, champ.
His claws dig in just a little bit.
Oh, thank you.
Do I hear that moan?
You might at this point.
Yeah, without
Anime watching,
context.
Eudora just watches their hand just go to their face like, really?
That is
Hey.
more than enough to disable and bypass the lock. That chest may now be open.
Hey, without context, we might still be able to deduce that chests are involved.
Yes.
I mean, it's a matter of determining what kind of chest is involved.
Chests are definitely being tooled.
Would you like to open the chest?
Thank you, Kitty.
You are quite welcome.
Yeah, I flip
Maybe
it
you're a
open.
little bit more loose for your climbing later now, too.
Perfect. Yeah, the chest. Boop.
I love it. I love it. The chest opening noise. That was great. Thank you. Nice.
Nice.
Ooh,
That is
perfect number for a chest.
Mhm. All over the chest.
And it fit the scene perfectly, too.
Okay. 69's automatic bonus roll.
Yummy.
Okay.
$69 is an automatic bonus roll.
I love it. It's
I,
That's
like,
nice
I,
roll.
love that. I love that.
Which save was that? That was this one. Okay. Yeah. A D12? D12. Okay. Inside the chest, you find the following items. There is a pouch, seems to be made of very simple yet sturdy leather. There is a small statuette of a humanoid figure with dragon tail and wings.
Ooh. What's it made of?
The statue itself seems to be made out of bronze.
Is the statue detailed or it's just vaguely humanoid?
It's humanoid in that it looks like a two-legged sapient individual like most of you all are. But it's definitely not a human, and it's not a dragonborn, despite the fact it seems to have draconic features in the wings and tail. Or at least it doesn't look like a dragonborn as you are familiar with them normally looking.
No, it's a dark sun dragonborn.
It's a hot gargoyle.
There is, it's also very tiny, if that is true. There is also
Oh.
a scroll.
Pygmy. Ooh.
Seems to be rolled up and just tucked into one corner.
Mm. Okay.
Mhm.
And there is a staff-sized length of wood. This seems to have, as you might expect, any natural tree branch. It has the occasional gnarls in it and some knots in it, some twists in it along the way.
Teacher. Teacher, we.
Wither lets out a huge whistle to signify to get their attention.
Teacher, we found drugs.
That's our cue. That's our cue, user.
The
Once
rest of
I-
the
I
party
need
is
to
able to
check
catch
something.
up now if they'd like. The staff also has a large green stone that seems to be almost grown around it. Like the stone set into the wood and it looks like the wood grew around it.
I'm gonna warily step away from the boss arena and bring the stuff. You get the shivers as you run out of the room where you're certain that a tank was gonna spawn. I found treats. Would anyone like treats? What's in the pouch? I'll hand the stick to one who leans.
What's
Here.
the stick?
Here, let's prop you up with this.
Is
There you
everyone
are.
coming? Or
An
I
Arcana
was
check.
checking something real quick.
An Arcana check could identify what the stick is.
I'll prop one who leans up with it.
A nature or religion check specifically from one who leans could also work to identify the stick.
Hmm.
The scroll is just a matter of me rolling a few things to determine what spell scroll it is. The pouch, if you would like to open it, you may reveal the contents of it.
Oh, you bet.
Could I just assist Yozora with my examinations so he rolls the Arcana at advantage?
And rolls Arcana advantage. Absolutely, you may assist Yuzora with that.
Okay, one checking of the staff. Let's see what we get. Please be good.
Turn your head and cough.
12. That's not as good as I would like it to be.
It is enough, however, so you are
Lovely.
lucky with that. You have assistance specific from one who leans.
What's this? What's this? There's something in my staff.
well, if there's something in his staff, just hold it firmly and maybe gently stroke it to remove whatever it is there.
Dove, some help with that?
That is known as a Staff of Life's Resonance.
Oh my god.
You can open it up and you see what it does. It is at its very base a +1 quarterstaff, so it has all the quarterstaff stats. It also grants the wielder the following things. While they have an ally with temporary HP that came from them, or an ability they have, all healing spells the wielder casts have explosive dice.
Get the fuck.
The wielder
the
also
fuck
has
outta here.
advantage on medicine checks,
Oh my god.
and they may cast Healing Word once per long rest without consuming a spell slot.
Wordlessly, Yozora's just going to have the staff over to one who leans.
Wow.
The overpowered healer gets more overpowered.
Jesus.
So,
I'm
as
actually
long-
speechless.
As long as someone in the party, and that includes you since you are an ally of yourself, has temporary HP that came from you directly casting a spell or using an ability that gave them temporary HP, any healing spells you cast will then have explosive die. Now that's any ones you cast at that point. Good
What is-
mushrooms wouldn't
All
get the
of-
explosive die.
Oh. okay.
Anything that you had done
Jesus.
beforehand, like any sort of reoccurring like heal, if you had, I think, healing spirit or something like that was already out, it wouldn't get the explosive die. But anything that you cast after the temp HP is in place would be granted this explosive die.
And what does the explosive die do?
So explosive die
Hmm.
means that if you roll the maximum value on the die, it rolls again. If that rolls maximum volume, it rolls again.
Thank you,
Okay.
World of Darkness.
It's
Big
what we call
fat
potential
numbers.
infinite healing. But I mean, what?
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
I'll be honest, I was
Yeah,
sort of hoping the
two
staff
for
was
it.
for me as the staff wielder, but
So
okay.
imagine this.
I was hoping.
Okay,
that
no.
for you.
Somebody get a paper cut right now so I can give you 3 life bars.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, imagine this. I have temp healing, right? And then like somebody else is missing 1 hit point. So he's standing next to me and casts a healing word for free and rolls max on it. And then rolls max again on it. And then rolls max again on it. So all of that will go into temporary hit points as well.
Are we? Is Mark trying to turn one who leans into a god of creation or something?
It's introduced a race to this planet, so kinda.
One who leans
fair.
is very much imbued with the power of the cycle of life and death.
Yeah, very much.
So okay,
Oh.
I'm gonna take the fact that I can potentially give people 3 life bars as a sign that some shit's coming our way.
No, it's just no.
Oh
it's,
yeah,
no,
the
I
whole
don't see why
the
you
whole
would say
room
that.
full of healing.
I don't know what would make you think it.
Holy.
Hey, what's in this pouch?
I mean, I did drop a meteor on the Monday group, so, you know, these things happen.
Oh,
Oh my fucking god!
You
I
say
think
that
the
so
best reaction I
casually.
got for that is, what?
And they were fighting their campaign's final boss, essentially, and one of its abilities, it summoned up a fiery meteor and dropped it on him.
I
This
like
part
it.
It's like a behemoth.
It's just that you said it so
Or no.
casually. I wanted to,
Some
I wanted
meteor.
to see it.
So they were fighting.
Yeah.
So they were fighting the behemoth. Did they hide behind the rock?
So I told them, this is totally not Ifrit,
What's in the box?
because it was all fire-based. Within
what's
the
in the
pouch, there is 1,200 gold pieces.
Damn.
So,
Ooh.
okay.
it's going right in my pocket.
Who hit the refund
Wither
button
kinda
on
looks at
the
him like-
vanilla?
Right?
Sure about that?
Okay, so that basically means 240
Oh,
for
shit.
everyone.
Wow.
240 for everyone.
Here we go. I'll. Since Wither's very curious and looking over my shoulder and sees me check the money, I'm like, here, let's distribute this fairly, shall we?
Yes.
Alright, I'll add plus 240.
Okay.
And then the statuette doesn't have any magical radiance or resonance to it. It seems to be mundane and is just a very nice statue of a female humanoid figure with dragon features.
Female's good too. Okay, is it hot?
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
like
So
like
now,
goddess of beauty hot, or like dignified, powerful symbol hot, like
Hot,
reverent.
for sure.
Okay.
so it would be a religion check to see what this might be, or is it just a statue?
Not a lewd statue.
It's it is unfortunately not lewd.
Darn.
And unfortunately, I don't think any of you would possibly have any chance to know who or what this represents, since it is specific to Yome. But a high enough religion check would at least get you that sense that it is definitely a religious figure.
Oh, I was going to assume that.
Yeah. I figured you would.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering because again, I've studied Celestial, so I know at least some of that. So let's see what's going on here. Hopefully.
But yeah.
Seems
But
to
if,
be
but if
dragon
somebody
shit.
else wanted, confirmation,
Yeah.
it definitely seems like a religious totem to you, for sure, Yuzora.
Hey, does anyone
Right.
know if the dragonkin around here they were described to us as having like dragonborn. I've met some dragonborn features, but the ones on the island were more draconic, right? Did they have wings and tails? I've never met a dragonborn with wings. I've met a couple with tails.
Yeah, unfortunately, you never heard anything about winged dragonborn with humanoid faces, or I suppose more human faces.
This, if I were to hazard a complete guess, I would imagine that this is what the dragon folk here might aspire to be. An ascended human. A marriage, a hybrid of dragon and human.
Okay, don't mind me, I'm testing an example healing word. It doesn't want to roll fours.
It's really cool when it happens. I gave a
Yeah, whatever.
one of the rogues that does the psychic knives. I gave them a weapon that gave their psychic knives specifically explosive dice, and it happened that it exploded 4 times once on an attack.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Stupid awesome. It was like 52 fucking damage from this knife. I was so happy. I was like,
Oh my god.
yes, that's why I do this shit.
Jesus. Big fat numbers.
There we go, look at that.
Oh, I did it! Oh, it's
Twen-
oh! It did it twice! Holy shit, 22 from a fucking healing word.
Imagine a 22 health healing word.
That would double my health. More than double my health.
I think that would just be a full heal for me.
Yeah, that'd be double the health for me, honestly.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I've got okay. That's basically a full heal. If I was at 0, that'd be a full heal plus 1 extra
There you go.
HP.
It's not gonna happen all the time, but when it happens,
When it happens,
when it
fucking
happens, it's so fucking cool.
Oof. Big numbers get the big.
it's gonna happen more often on healing word.
Yeah.
Lower, yeah, lower
Yep. Lower variance.
dice.
All right, well, GG guys, we win D&D.
More or less, dude. Oh my god.
Already? I wanted to enjoy the game more.
Anyway,
Is there-
what did you
Was there
find?
anything else we need to look at in the chest?
That was all that was within the chest.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, the spell scroll.
Yes, the
Yes.
spell scroll.
Take a look at this. If I can read it. I don't know if I can read it. Here, can you read this?
Don't read it out loud.
Klaatu Barada.
I know, jokingly, but just in response, it's like, thunk, no.
Vampire, no.
Klaatu Barada.
Ooh, 1d5, I presume is the spell level.
You would be correct.
Nice juicy 3rd level spell.
First on the list of 3rd level spells. Hello, Fireball.
The 8 is what School of Magic it's from.
Ah.
If it's alphabetical, I guess this would be conjuration.
Abjuration, in fact.
Oh, abjuration. Yes, right. There's an A. I was like, there's
Hot
no alteration.
damn. That is a scroll of counterspell.
Ooh,
I will
Fuck
take that.
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
you might be the only one who can use a scroll, actually.
Would that be the case?
That is not the case, no. One who leans could also use it. Actually, I think all of you can. As long as you have some sort of natural magic affinity and ability, you can use scrolls.
I can't.
So yeah, Dove might be out then.
Well, still.
I have no magic.
It's not in my interest to have it anyway.
I mean, that's fair.
I'm just like,
Is that how we're
More
playing it?
parchment. We've already been
Or-
dealing with too much parchment
Good.
today.
Because I'm good with playing it like that. Rules as written, I think
Yeah, no, that's
it-
very specific to my setting.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Despite being undead, despite being
Right?
supernatural, I am not magical.
Yeah, no natural
I mean,
magic.
I'm perfectly fine leaving that to you, Zora.
it's less a matter of being magical and more a matter of knowing how to cast spells.
The more like addition on top
enchanting.
of spell slots we can give the warlock, the better.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, who took
Yeah,
the
we can go with that.
spell suck staff?
The only thing I can really do magical is open and close doors and be really loud.
I trust your Zora took the spell suck as well.
No, that went to one who leans.
Oh dang. Okay. Shit, you got just out there dual wielding sticks.
Yes, I think of the last two chests now, Phil's and me and myself are the ones who didn't get anything from them.
I feel like I
Besides
might
now
want to
this-
trade.
now.
Well, we all got a little bit of money.
Big money.
Yeah, but let me phrase that. Additional options. How's that?
Yep.
Fair enough.
That is very true. And if you've been paying attention, they've been fairly designed for specific characters. So yours are on the list in the loot table
Hey,
somewhere.
hey, I'm not throwing a fit. I'm not throwing a tantrum. It's how the dice rolls up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put that up off the table. I'm not throwing a tantrum. It's like
Double.
No,
I'll get this
absolutely,
because it seems
absolutely.
like I'd be the one that have the most
Yeah.
knowledge on how to use
And
it.
so, counter spell very really good on you. I already have a reaction. I've got absorb element, so we'll be good.
That staff that you took, that shepherd's crook there.
Yes,
What did you say that did?
it is infused with the magic of life.
Not that one.
This one can feel it.
The other one. The crook.
Oh, the wand.
Yeah.
Is it a wand? Oh, okay, I thought it was more of
Yeah,
a
it's a wand.
staff. Okay.
Yeah, because it wasn't like
Yeah,
a
never mind.
limited use.
It eats spell slots.
Yeah. I was thinking if it were a staff, then it'd be awkward for you to have two.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they were going like skiing or something. They might use both then.
Oh, and while we are sharing discoveries, I discovered a nice little cave, and one who leans helped me with this, and we might have something interesting in it. Who's up for a
This
little
one.
spelunking?
Oh, great.
This
Sure.
one observed a variety of fungi that it wishes to investigate.
Were you looking in a mirror?
No,
What are you saying? All mushrooms look alike?
Just deadpan. It doesn't get more deadpan than one who leans.
Yeah, I know, it's so good every time.
I attempted a joke has fallen flat.
No, it was
Just,
perfect. It was a perfect setup. I loved it.
It's the friendly sandbag. It's its own
Yeah.
punchline.
Just playing like the straight man, just
No.
Well then, let's all go explore my cave.
Oh my!
Sounds like a plan.
Nope, I'm going the
don't
other
bow
way.
wow.
Didn't
Sorry,
we
I had
Okay.
to make that joke.
Just sort of like I'm leaving.
Don't bow wow.
The last time any quote unquote cave exploration happened required drugs.
Oh, sweetie, it doesn't require drugs. Drugs just make it better.
I mean, we can always make use of the cookies I cooked earlier.
No. Oh. Also, can I get a item for the scroll counterspell?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like I don't want us to forget that I actually have that.
I'll put the statue in my inventory too.
Also, as we are walking, I walk by a sail dove and slip him 40 of the 240 that he gave me back as a token of,
Oh.
of nice gesture.
Dove receives it and just sort of like looks at it in his hand like,
And he
thank
kinda-
you. Why?
for your nimble fingers.
Oh my.
Thank you. I do know how to handle a nice chest. And I stroke him right here.
I already knew that. Anyhow. So, about this cave.
Put plus 40.
Yeah, I think
There.
Mark is making the scroll item.
Okay.
Yep, there we go.
Counterspell.
Okay, one scroll of counterspell.
The rest of the party, now back together, steps into the cave that Philomene has discovered to explore it. And we'll do that next time.
Oh,
Yay.
Oh!
I was just about to move.
Saw
Maybe
that
that's what
coming.
it would be.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is about that time.
I'm excited.
Okay.
I want to see the mushrooms.
See mushy boys. Hey, I'm glad we split up and spotted that chest. Because holy shit, that fucking stick.
That is
my
one
God.
potent stick.
Thanks.
Yeah. When I came up with the idea, I was like, ooh, this is going to be fun.
It's Wilden. Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
Ooh. So it does mean. Oh god, it is kind of. How close do they have to be to the ally with temp HP?
They just have to exist.
They just have to
no
exist.
range.
Oh my god. So that's perfect. Yes, just like I stub my toe, I eat a good mushroom, and I just fucking hide like I usually do. So I keep those
Mhm.
temp hit points around, and that way you can be back and you can be just fucking tank maining like Bellamy or Wither, and just keep them pumped. Just
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
no,
time.
It's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, I hope so.
Jesus. I'll be your I'm your I'm your pocket steroids, right? I'm your pocket V juice.
You know, I have a totem that gives temp HP to everyone.
Oh
Yep.
my god, you could just do it for nothing. Oh jeez, that's great.
Yeah, that's after a short rest, even too, isn't it? Or like a shorter long rest.
Short rest, yeah.
Oh fuck, where do I go
This
from here?
party is getting really overpowered.
You know, basically almost have 2 tanks now again.
I still can't believe it, because like ever since Mog gave me the blessing of the mound, I was thinking, okay, rest of the campaign I'm not getting anything like this.
It just keeps stacking. Like I'm like, yeah, you're set. You're good. Like that's your that's like your backstory satisfaction and your like OP upscaling your level satisfaction like wrapped into one.
Yeah.
And just keep getting more.
I will fully admit that it's like, oh, all these nice things for everybody else. Then I'm again scroll counter spell, a little bit of extra armor. Okay, that's how the dice
Yeah.
are rolling. I will.
Yeah.
I did think
Man.
maybe that wand would go to you just as well.
Well,
You
when
could
we
go either
initially
way.
when we initially distributed everything, it made sense giving one who leans a couple more options because I've
More
got
offensive
the magic.
options, yeah.
Yeah, I've got. If I use up all my spell slots, I can still Eldritch Blast somebody the next Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got
But-
Eldritch Blast for
But one who leans doesn't
Safety.
have exactly all of that from what I remember. What is it? The
Yeah,
one
when I-
absorbs the magic and lets the cute character have that magic, if my memory serves. Correct me if I'm
Something
wrong,
like
please.
that. Like if when I'm out of spell slots, I don't do much.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just basically druid craft or druid wild.
dong. Just got told
Yeah.
the dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Toll the Dead, Wild Shape.
I've got a couple of cantrips I can cast no matter what, essentially, between Eldritch Blast and Create Fire and a couple others, I
Hmm.
think. Options. he doesn't really have it, so
Yeah.
there was an option for to keep him in the fight and not just
Oh boy.
relegate him
It's
to
just
desperate.
some
keeper.
some extra utility options.
And when I started making this round of items that were discoverable along the way, the one I started with was Yozora, because I was like, yeah, Yozora hasn't got a whole lot yet to really pull them out and give them some distinction and let them stand out and let them feel like this is my item. This kind of. So I started literally with yours first, and they just keep not rolling.
Like I said, I'm not throwing a tantrum over
Mm-hmm.
here. I'm vastly better than that. But it's just like, huh, okay.
No,
Maybe
I've
the
been
dice will
there.
eventually like me.
That feel sucks. Where you're like, I get stuff too, right? Like it does.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
I
a
got
bummer.
The, I
But
got
I
the
want-
extra
I
spell
do
slots
wanna-
from the one item, so
I do want to assure you that I promise you are. There's stuff there. It's coming. Please
It'll-
don't worry.
it'll probably wait until I finally get around to extending my backstory and adding some more details I've been trying to remember to write down, and then work happens.
We're
So I've actually
we're
been
in the
trying to
same
make up
boat.
the kingdom that they're from.
We're in the same boat on that. I need to write down the details of Philome's fate about the path and all that because it's a little bit more complex than what I've just said out loud.
I was just like looking at my backstory and got drawing some inspiration from the thing that Slappy said several sessions back. It's like I should also probably expand the, for lack of a term, the Fey Kingdom that Yozora came from, at least to give it an actual name, and so on and so forth. Specifically the land, specifically where he's. Yeah, I think I'm making sense.
Oh, quick pop in
Yeah,
for
you're
bed.
fine.
Hi, Bucky-so. Hi,
Yeah,
hi,
just
hi.
your more of your backstory, really.
Yeah,
Here.
Kind of like what I did with mine.
Yeah. I'm weird is that I will make the basic character and stuff like this, and
Huh.
then as we play, they will evolve. I will create them more as we go and go.
Well, yeah, that's how it
That-
works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
Hmm.
I did, basically.
I've had some
Mhm.
people in the past complain. It's like, yeah, you've got a bog standard blank character here. It's like I've got enough so I can play
That
off
can
of,
work.
and the DM can have some fun.
Yeah,
Looking for it to evolve.
I get excruciating with the details that I put in before I start. Like it's almost problematic. It is. I can definitely see the liberation in just having a boilerplate, and then you rise completely from that.
Mhm.
Like I overwrite my stuff.
I need something basic because I need to play someone who's had a life before the game and or a life that shaped them, that gave them a personality. Because I don't want to just play a set of stats. But
Yeah.
beyond
Yeah.
that, like the details get filled in as you play.
That's exactly, like I said, that's exactly what I did with mine. I mean, I think we had a long conversation about this one night, and
Oh yeah, the night.
oh god,
yeah.
yeah, it was like what 5 o'clock in the morning when we stopped.
Oh, we got drunk and we just kept talking.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a long night.
Yeah, I know for Yozora specifically, it's like I've been listening to other D&D games, and it's like, you guys need someone with more intelligence than a rock. Come on.
Get inspiration for all the media you consume. Speaking of consuming other media, let's go consume Dr. Orochi. Let's give a little raid over to Doc O and give him a ride on that meat train.
Yes.
Daco is good, people.
On my end, I am sending everybody in my chat over to Phenomenon, who's doing Final Fantasy VII with voice acting, apparently.
Oh yeah,
That's a good mod.
right. I
That's a very
forgot
good
about
mod.
that.
So
Yeah.
good people on both sides.
In fact,
They're
I'm
supposed to be, I
gonna
think they're supposed to be doing 8 and 9 as well, from
I'm
what he told me.
gonna be applying. I'm gonna be applying to do some NPC voices.
And here I am trying to see if I can get somebody to let me voice act in a podfic.
Ooh, nice. I hope you get some of those, and I hope you get that Podvic. Yeah, that's rad.
It's
It's like it's one of my favorite fixes of recent. It's like, oh,
there we
you
go.
guys need someone to act for Marshadow? Let's see if I can get that.
All right, let's just give him that ride on the meat train. Give him that subjugasm. If you don't have subjugasm, why?
Get it,
I
sub.
loved you. Why don't you love me back? But give him any gasm you got. If you don't have it, there's a bunch of gasm between friends after all. And I'll see you all next time. Next Friday?
Is it next
Are we
Friday?
on? I think we're on next Friday.
be.
It's the 23rd, right? All right. Then, yes, I'll see you next Friday, and then next Saturday and Sunday. Oh, it's going to be a busy time next weekend, but I'm going to be busy partying this weekend. So I'll see you then. Mwah. Stay easy.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Thank you all for tuning into our reality, and I'll see you all around. John?